Oh god. Didn't really speak much today, so my voice is kinda like eh. Just needs to reply to a message and we can start. Alrighty, so let me close this a little bit because it's a little bit chilly. Right, so last where we left off was trying to get that little robo dude to carry the vessel till the top of the volcano, so we can finally like douse the flames and enter the dungeon. So let's see. We have 22 hours in the game. Nice. Don't leave me. Press minus to open your map to find me. Okay, where did he... Wait, he's right behind me. Didn't leave you. Okay, wait. Where... Ah, Volcano Summit. Okay, so we need to go this way. Okay. Yesterday I cleaned this Pro controller. Like I opened it up and cleaned it. And now it's like the sticks are moving very nicely, very smoothly. Are you... Just die. How many arrows do I need to spend on this guy to finally die? Wow, that was lucky. I literally had no more arrows. Okay. Whee! Okay, no, come here. I need... No, I need the beetle. Okay, I'm gonna use the beetle to kill them. Hopefully. Yes. No! Okay, let's try this again. And my headphones just turned off. Okay, Alright, there we go. Maybe I can try doing it with this. Wow. Okay, so this is... Nah, I need to get more arrows. Otherwise I won't be able to pass through there. Let's see if there's anything I can pick up. Beppo! Beppo? He's lazily lying on the, like on the doors to the garden and just barking at everyone that passes. Ay, 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 Beppo, Beppo. Burst, wait for me. Need to find some arrows. Yes, whatever. Ah. This being is annoying. There we go. Oh, just give me some arrows. Arrows, please. Arrows. Is there anything I can dig out and maybe get some arrows? I guess not. Okay. Oh! Have I used the hook shot, the claw shot to go up there? I guess not. I don't think I did. No. So let's go here first. And then here. Let's see what it is up there. Yeah, big fat pile of nothing. Well, wait. Oh well. Maybe you could give me some arrows? Apparently not. Okay. What is this? Can I go in here and maybe pick up? Wait. What did he say? Wait for me. Hello? I'll wait here if you got an errand to run, but get going. Okay, let's just try going in there and finding some arrows. Earth Temple. Please give me arrows. Arrows. Arrows, por favor. Yeah, that's not gonna work like that. Okay, more keys. We didn't drop any loot. Okay, here. No loot here. Heart. I mean, okay, at least it's hearts, but I still need... Oh, an arrow! Wait, can I maybe fly to Skyloft, buy some at the shop, and then return, and the guy's still gonna be there? Maybe. Let's try doing that. Where have you been? Get me to the top of the volcano. No. Okay. Let's go to the sky. And let's hope the little guy is gonna stay there. I have to sit like a poop myself because my cat is sleeping on the chair. Robot is waiting at the volcano. I know! I just came from there. Just need to go to the shop and get some friggin' arrows. Yeet. Okay. Fuck you. Fuck you very, very much. Oh wait, what is that? There is a hole down there. Interesting. Oh. Am I breaking into somebody's house? Oh, that's nice. Hello. What did I get? Silver rupee. Okay. That's nice, that's nice. Piece of heart. Okay, can I... Okay, of course I can. Fine, let me dive back. Forgot what I wanted to do. Oh, yeah, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the bazaar and buy some arrows. Okay. Let's just do that. Is this the bazaar? I guess everything looks the same. I just got a new item, small quiver. Take a look for yourself. Okay. Is this something worth my time? You can carry 5 more arrows. Sure. Ah! Okay, I have to store something. Here.
Hi.
Yes, please. Okay, I don't need this, and yeah. There we go. Now, let's do this, which is more important. Yes, gimme. Taking the liberty of placing it in your pouch. Okay, now I need this. That guy creeps the hell out of me. I think I still prefer Beetle over this guy. Small bomb bag, sure. Okay, I think that is enough for, wait, can I upgrade? What can I upgrade? Oh, Increased attack power. I need, oh, 1 more tumbleweed, okay. What's this? Seed satchel. I don't, fuck the seed satchel. Holds 5, holds 10. Yeah, I can get it. Yeah, go for it. Okay. Okay, to medium quiver, and let's see if I can. A big. Oh fuck! I need more tumbleweed. Okay. Oh, I can upgrade this. Yes, go for it. Okay. This is the first time that I'm doing any sort of upgrading. Like, it's almost the end of the game and I'm like, ooh, upgrading. How nice. Okay. Okay, let's upgrade the beetle as well. Since we can. Okay. Okay. Longer flight time. Okay. 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 Chuga, 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 chuga. Alrighty, can I do anything else in the beetle? Oh no, that was the maximum beetleness that the beetle could have Cotton. Okay, I just need to make sure to get some tumbleweed. And back to our adventure. Okay, so we need to yeet ourselves back into the volcano and guide the little guy. Bro, it's so cold. No, don't let go, Link, you're too young. Whee! Okay. Red. There. Bro, what is waiting? We're at the volcano. I suggest you return there. Okay. Let me return there. Whee! Yeet. Okay. I, by the way, have bought myself the Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword amiibo, the one that like lets you teleport from anywhere back onto the sky, but I haven't opened it, and I kind of don't want to open it. Looks nice in its packaging. Okay, there we go. Also, I think I saw one of those rolling beetles. Yes! No, there we go. Got it. Okay, so let's go. Now... Cute. Okay, and where is the last one? Yes, there we go. 1 by 1 rupee. Okay, now I'm not gonna waste all of my arrows on this dude. What I'm gonna do is... Ah, okay. No! Wow, how rude. Okay, maybe I can just send this guy. I mean, it would be easier if I could, like, destroy his... this. Turn around. Okay. I guess this is gonna be a slow fight. I don't know if there is a smarter way to do it, but... I'm slicing him from behind and then he's like, oh, who's there? Oh, I guess nobody. Let me turn around again. Oopsie. Oh, yikes. That was not planned. Can I snatch your... No. He's starting to turn around again. Oh, where did he go? Motherfucker. Also, those nipple rings are slightly disturbing. There we go. Die, bitch. Hi, Dan! How are you doing? Okay, let's kill this guy. Where is the other guy? Over here. And there is one here in the corner. Okay. Been better. Had a really rough 10 days or so. Literally, like, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong in these last couple of days, but I'm doing better, you know, keeping positive. The only thing that I can, to be honest. Come here, bitch. Ah, thanks, Dan. Ah! George of the jungle. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's stick here. Beetle guy. Bye, don't need you. Alright, up we go, and we are almost there. Fuck. Oh. That was a one-hit kill. Is he with me? Yes. Okay. Are you going to handle those or what? Oh crap! No! Oh, please don't tell me. I'm gonna. Oh. Okay, good. I was like, please don't tell me that I'm gonna have to run all the way. Okay, so I have to kill both of them before jumping down. I guess more arrows. Yes, yes. Detect malfunction, whatever the fuck. Are you Okay, let me try throwing a bomb down there. Okay, that's not gonna work. Did you just...
Pretty sure that's not gonna work.
Oh my god, you scared the shit out of me.
I am so sorry. Hello, Seth. Hello,
Hi.
chat.
Jesus.
Back like I never left.
Beppa, no growling. Oh my god, how have you been?
Oh, doing fantastically, thank you. And yourself?
Like a steaming pile of shit, but
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah.
Is there anything we can do to help you out?
Nah. Just, it's gonna sort itself out eventually. Just a lot of
Alright.
money problems recently due to me moving a couple of months ago and having to sort all of the shit, so
Oh, I understand.
yeah. But other than that, everything's been fine. Like, I even got contacted by one guy in my company who wants to put me on a different project. Still in Porsche, but he wants to put me on a different project because he said he heard about what was happening and, like...
The wrongful termination of your last
yeah,
position, yeah.
yeah, and that he wants to, like, offer me a safe environment and keep me, like, under his wing and shit, so... It's pretty...
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're still interested in, like, transitioning to that tech lead position,
Yeah,
it would be
I mean-
great if you could work under somebody who was really
Exactly.
amicable towards you while you go through that transition.
Exactly. Yes, that is my goal as well, like my thinking. So you have finished 1/3 of your thesis.
A draft, at any
A
rate.
draft, yeah. And how do you feel about it?
Frankly, I just feel overawed that it's... Oh, of course, as soon as I get in and back on stream, I have to have a snack. Right, 1 second.
Yeah.
But suffice it to say, I feel amazing that one significant chunk of this is drafted, because at the very least, I don't have to think about it anymore. Odds are good that people on my committee will send back feedback to the tune of, you might want to touch this up a little bit, or add in a paragraph here, or take this page
Right.
out, but I'm not going to have to write substantially more in that
Definitely,
section,
yeah.
hopefully at all. So, fingers crossed. Okay, one
Makes
second,
sense.
let me deal with this. Ugh. Some things never change.
Yeah. Alright, so that frog was happy with the amount of water. Nice. And the dungeon is open. The flames blocking your path have been fully extinguished. I recommend proceeding ahead. Okay. Are you happy? You're something else, bud. There is nothing you cannot do. Exactly. I am Link. I've been traveling through time and solving everybody's issues. I just keep getting reincarnated over and over again to deal with other people's shit. That must be a terrible existence. Just being reincarnated as a problem solver over and over again. I still don't get it. Why every time we enter a dungeon he needs to, like, look at it judgingly, like he hasn't been in a dungeon before. Fire Sanctuary. Alright. Oh, pretty owls. Ugly flowers. And a lot of fire. Who would have thunk that there's gonna be fire in Fire Sanctuary? Okay. And are you... Oh, that's water. How nice. Okay, okay, so I guess this is a gimmick.
Okay, fingers crossed we should be good.
Nice.
So, how have you been finding Skyward Sword so far?
I can see why a lot of people have been hating on it. I think most of it came due to the motion controls. I gotta say, on Switch is much better. Like, much better.
That's great.
Much more pleasant to play. Dungeon-wise, I enjoyed the dungeons themselves. I do not enjoy the work prior to getting into the dungeon. Like
The overworld exploration.
it's not even overworld exploration. It feels that every time when you want to enter a dungeon, you need to do like a quest line to get to that dungeon. Like, for example, here, to open this dungeon, we had to navigate this little robot with a huge water vessel all the way up the mountain and, like, guarding it from anything that could damage him, which was tedious as fuck.
And it feels like a lot of these quests are just kind of tacked on to what would otherwise be
Yeah.
halfway decent exploration.
Yeah. Because like these dungeons are pretty good.
I will say aesthetically, right, just based off of the visuals I'm seeing, and what I know of the game's dungeon design, especially the dungeon just before this one, they're gorgeous.
Oh yeah, they're really
Like-
pretty.
Very colorful, the architecture looks unlike anything we've seen in a Zelda game elsewhere,
Yeah.
like, that bit's perfectly fine. I've heard, though, the biggest complaint, and it's the same complaint I issue personally to most of the Nintendo games I played from this era, is the whole thing just feels a little too simple and
Yes.
reductive.
Yes, and it feels like this entire game's purpose was to show off the motion controls in a way, because all the bosses have exactly the same gimmick, and that is swing the sword in the proper direction. Like if the claws are left and right, you have to swing from top to bottom, you know, stuff like that. Or, of course, when you're in a new dungeon and discover, for example, a whip, the boss is gonna have you use the whip in order to like expose some parts to kill
Right.
it. Which is, you know,
But-
fairly obvious, but I mean, that's what always Zelda games did, right? It was always the dungeon's boss would have you use the specific dungeon's item to
Right.
beat it.
But it also feels like, with the exception maybe of that beetle, absolutely all of the major dungeon items function in much the same way. Like, just
Yeah.
you would waggle, waggle, waggle in a certain direction,
Basically,
and that
like-
would be the boss. Hey, MC!
Hi, MC!
Glad
All
to see you,
Nintendo Wii
man.
games
I-
had the gimmick, look at me swinging at the screen. Yes, I wonder how many TVs had to be bought, you know, during the Wii era, because people would just fling their remotes
Many.
accidentally.
I've also seen people throw their Wiimotes through their ceilings by accident.
So these are the items that we get in this game. You know,
Okay.
usually you get your bow, boomerang, hook shot, whatever. Here
Sure.
we have bow, of course, bombs, a beetle, which basically is a remote-controlled flying object that you can use to pick up remote items. Which
I like the beetle.
I don't know, it's alright, but like a good boomerang would do the same trick. You have the bug net, because apparently Zelda is now a collectathon where you need, you know, bugs. Of course, the slingshot, I think we had that in previous games as well. Claw shots, which is instead of a hook shot, so basically you can dangle onto two items, so like you dangle onto one, and then you can use your hand to like hold yourself and then hook yourself to a different item, so...
Wasn't
like-
there a dual hook shot in an earlier entry that functioned similarly? Was it Twilight Princess, maybe?
Could be, I don't think I've... Beppa?
No,
I don't-
not Twilight Princess.
I don't think
I
I've
just
seen
know
it.
there's a dual hook shot somewhere.
And
then-
yeah, there is the whip.
Then the whip,
yeah,
which is
that-
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's pretty, but it's something to dangle on the like branches and stuff from. Beppo, like a hook shot could be used in that.
Of course.
Just a second.
Of course. MC says, I always had the wrist thing on to avoid throwing the Wiimote. Never had the issue because safety first, scrubs. Oh, I feel ya. I hated the wrist strap because it always felt a little loose when you had it even properly secured, and that always kind of bothered me. So I removed my wrist straps, and I never had a problem with a Wiimote flying out of my hand. I've always had a very,
Nice.
very firm grip.
And the last item, which I like the most, is this.
It's like a bellows. Actually, hold on. Both of those last two items first came from handheld entries. The whip was introduced in, I want to say Phantom Hourglass, right? Or no, Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks. The
I
third
think
dungeon,
this
right? You get a
one-
whip.
I had this one in Minish Cap, I think.
That's right. It was the first item, the Gust Jar, that
Yeah, the
you
Gust Jar.
could acquire in Minish Cap. And
Yeah.
in that particular game, it was fantastic. My favorite item in the game. You could use it to like clear cobwebs and piles of leaves off the ground,
Yeah.
and with the overhead perspective that Minish Cap used, it allowed you to uncover lots of like cool little treasure chests or secret passages or things like that.
Yeah, basically.
Yes, he says, yes, Brady, say firm grip again. Firmly grasp it.
Any whoosies. But yeah, like all in all, it's a good Zelda game. Nowhere near as good as the other Zelda games.
That is generally what I understand.
Yeah, so I don't hate it, I just don't love it as much as I love the other ones. But I saw that you said tomorrow is gonna be a longer Sly stream.
Yeah, so, thank you so much, MC, thank you. What was meant to be like a 20 to 25 page chapter ended up in its first draft being like 34 because I don't know how to be terse, which is actually in my best interest. Because, think about this, the more volume I occupy with chapter 1, the shorter chapters 2 and 3 have to be by default.
Yes. Nice logic.
No, I'm not joking. Like, I and my entire committee at this point are like, look, none of this is really fair, especially to me, so, like, let's just get this thing on the books and let me move on to the next stage, which will be teaching for a year.
Right.
But yes, so not only is tomorrow going to be like an all-day Sly stream, just as much as I can manage, because I have a special project on the books that shouldn't take more than 1 or 2 streams, but I kind of want the whole gang together on commentary for. It's gonna be something special, it's gonna be something fun.
I'm so excited.
I'm going to try, get this, after your stream is concluded today, Seth, just because I'm worn out and I've been working like mad for like a week to the point where I vaguely remember what entertainment is.
I vaguely remember life.
Correct. I'm going to go live with some Sly 3 right after this. And just like spend my evening streaming that for fun.
That
going to get
sounds amazing.
as far into Sly 3 and maybe even into Sly 4 tomorrow, and then we're going to dedicate my next couple of streams to that special project.
What is that project?
You will just have to see. It's something of a surprise. It's something I definitely want you, Potato, and Exit on commentary for, though.
Nice.
It's going to be fun.
Okay, let's see.
Speaking of, how were those Tato streams overall? I heard he just, made a mockery of Dark Souls 1, which is...
Oh yeah, he like literally just rushed through the entire Dark Souls. Like, with the DLCs, he beat all the bosses. No problem. I think the biggest problem was, well, except for Ornstein and Smoth, Manus.
Wait, like Artorias was no problem?
No. Like,
oh, for fuck's sake.
Like, I don't know, maybe 5 tries or so, but it was pretty nice.
Like, I mean, I'm very happy and super proud, but at the same time, also a little self-conscious now.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's having a lot of problems with Dark Souls 2, so...
That was because of the Covenant of Champions! That was a problem!
Yeah. Oopsie.
That was a big problem! Oh no!
Yeah.
But hey, Seth, remember, Dark Souls 2 was nowhere near hard enough for so many of the hardcore Souls-like fans.
I mean, they got what they wanted, I guess. Aww. Yeah, and as soon as I'm done with Skyward Sword, I wanna dive into Blasphemous.
Yes!
That's been like a game that was very warmly recommended by a friend, and also I had some other people saying like, oh, you should totally play it, it's like pixel art game, and like it's totally up your alley, and I'm like, well, yes.
DLC has has DLC been released, or is DLC about to be released for Blasphemous?
I don't know, honestly.
Hold on.
Oh
god, I'm even doing research during this. Let me see. Okay, so the free DLC, Blasphemous: The Stir of Dawn, was released last year.
Nice. But
there is a second... Is this an independent, like, standalone sequel? Blasphemous: Strife and Ruin? Hold on. Let me just make a quick sojourn over to the official PlayStation YouTube channel, home of trailers for titles as legendary as Life of Black Tiger. No, the Strife and Ruin update was another free DLC. It's already been released. That is a short crossover episode with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Luna,
Interesting
welcome,
combo.
welcome to the stream.
Luna,
Good evening.
hi. How you doing?
Now, if you remember, Seth, there are, I want to say, 3 Bloodstained games currently available, right? Or two that are available, one that's being made.
Yeah, I think it's like that, yeah.
Now, 2 of them, including the one currently in production, are like these retro 8-bit, like original Castlevania-styled side-scrollers.
Yep.
I think that's great. But come on, you gotta tell me that 3D, like, Symphony of the Night-esque title that was actually kickstarted is not the best of the 3?
Yeah,
like,
it's very beautiful, however, they have a lot of FPS drop issues on that towery thing that you have to climb. Tower of the Dragon or something like that, I'm not sure how it's called. Basically, I was playing on the Switch, I was playing it with 2 FPS. It was horrible. It was like a slideshow. Yeah.
Oh, Luna, thank you so much. They say, hey, Brady, so glad to see you back. We missed you. Missed all of you as well. They say, real bad, 10 straight hours of work, plus they fucking changed all the road's directions out of the blue. I'm so drained and pissed off. Oh, are they doing major road work somewhere on the island?
It's so shitty when they do that in the middle of tourist season. Like, can you fucking not?
I was late getting home today because a considerable stretch of the road, like the highway, from my hometown to, well, the city where I live, was converted to a 1-lane road. A single-lane road because of this infrastructure project, right? They're, like, broadening the road to include a couple more lanes to facilitate more expedient traffic, right?
Right.
Now, guess when that project was supposed to be completely concluded?
Yesterday.
Something like summer of 2018.
Oh. Pre-corona time. Interesting.
Yeah, pre-grad school time. Just barely post-Super Mario Odyssey time.
Oh, wow. The salt is real.
I don't know. Well, actually, like, we poke fun at, like, Croatian Post all the time.
Yeah.
But the contractors working on transport in central Tennessee are apparently on the same level.
Yeah, because probably those contractors are Croatian.
Luna says, no, they just changed directions. And Luna says, I was going to say 5 years ago. No, just 3. Just 3. Just 3.
Yeah, just 3. No! God damn it, I thought that I was... Oh, wait, maybe I need to jump on that and then use the windy blowy thing?
Ah, yes! Well, no, there's
no.
puzzles like that... Oh, well, maybe not. I was going to say, but there's puzzles like that, in a lot of 3D Zeldas, right? Like, remember the, Deku Leaf, gondola puzzles we all 3 had to work to puzzle out gondola in Wind Waker?
Okay, can I...
One thing I will say is I do really, really appreciate, again, but I'm being more specific in this case, the, like, South and Central Asian aesthetics that were incorporated into a lot of the dungeons designs.
Oh,
That's really cool, and it's not something we see in games all too often, unfortunately.
True, yeah. Wait, maybe...
If only they were attached to a better game, you know?
Yeah. No. That no work.
I think your idea about the bellows might be correct.
Let me see if I can just open it with this. No. Because it always takes me time to change this.
I know exactly where in the game you are, and you probably shouldn't have too many more streams after this.
Oh, okay, so that wasn't the solution. I mean, there are these...
What about those tunnels up there?
Yeah, I can't seem to climb up there. Or maybe...
Oh. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Can't climb up, and there's no point to sending the beetle through.
Oh, wait. Maybe I can send the beetle, at least to check what is up there.
Right. I was going to say as well, you may be able to zip up to that wall of vines that you've been clinging to. Aha!
Okay, let's see. There is a different tunnel here. Maybe we can detonate something. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Woo! Damn it! I exploded into the...
Love this. I guess they ran out of ideas and just gave Link a drone in this game.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this entire tunnel is just a money collection for...
Okay.
Just money collection.
So where do we need to deliver the bomb? We obviously need to take it somewhere. Otherwise they wouldn't
Let's
be
see
up there.
What's up here?
One thing I do appreciate about Zelda design is that they very rarely give you, like, red herrings in dungeons. Anything that is present, any, like, mechanical element, is there for a reason.
Red herring?
Yeah, no, sorry. It is a turn of phrase that means roughly false lead. Something meant to distract a reader or a player's attention and get them focused on a relatively unimportant element of a story or design. Misdirection, basically.
Yeah, this,
That's not working.
No.
Gotta be able to do something with those bombs.
I mean, I still don't even have another,
E?
key, yeah, so I won't be able to go here, but I might be
Okay,
able
so
to go
Seth-
here.
Right, but also, look, open your map. Those unopened doors directly above you, can you navigate to that stretch of the dungeon?
Okay,
No.
it's over there.
What would we need to do to raise the portcullis, then? Depress the pressure plate, right?
Yeah, and I think that is the yeah, that's the boss room over there.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, the boss of this dungeon is pretty good, so we've got something to look forward to, at least.
So far, the only dungeon that I didn't like was the one in the ship.
Really? The sand ship?
Yeah, it was quite annoying to me, to be honest.
Wait,
And also
hold on a
long,
minute.
Like a stream and a half, yeah?
That means you enjoyed Lanayru mining facility?
More than the pirate ship, yes.
Oh, wow. See, that dungeon is notoriously hated amongst the Zelda
I
fandom
mean,
for being
the
very
time
boring.
Yeah, the time shift gimmick, honestly, it's boring as fuck. But wait, can I maybe no?
And compared to the rest of the game, at least in my opinion, and obviously it's designed to be that way, it's just nowhere near as, like, visually striking, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it is a
No.
desert facility, so nope. Put away.
Have you ever been able to use bombs to blow up large branches like those protruding
No.
from the ceiling? Okay. Now hold on. What are those other pods for? Seth, is it possible? Yeah, is it possible to cut one of the berries down? Okay, they don't make it. We can't carry them or anything like that.
Doesn't seem like it, no.
No, because I was thinking if we could find a way to get the beetle to carry one of those pods.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. Let's see if that is.
But it would take too long. It would take too long to, like, strike one of the pods and then
Maybe I can
carry
strike it with
its
that. No.
its load. Yeah. Let's see. Are there any of your other tools that we could use in unconventional ways?
This is way too short. Living.
Yeah. The duration isn't long enough. What we need to do is get a pod to drop, or at least the platform it creates to land squarely between that little promontory and the opposite end of the lava flow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, Pot, thank you so much for the raid.
Hi,
man.
boss.
But now hold on, Seth, like, the design of the lava flow itself makes me think that you are supposed to devise, or be able to devise some way of, like, shifting a platform across the room.
Oh, wait! You see that mouth of that dragon? It's closed up. Maybe I need
You can
to...
bomb it.
Or use this. I'm not sure. Well, one or the other, probably. Eh.
Pod says, how is?
Hi, Pot. Struggling with this dungeon because apparently I'm... Oh, and I have
No,
to
bomb
pick
it with
up...
a beetle.
Yes.
Yes. There we go. I'm so sorry I didn't see that earlier.
I am so sorry. I'm a fucking dumbass.
I thought we both are then. I thought the lava was flowing freely from that mouth. I did not see the obstruction.
Yeah. Just barely noticed it. Let's see.
And that'll give us the motion within the lava pool necessary to push one of the platforms across the way.
Yeah, boy. How was
Somehow
your
it
stream,
doesn't-
Pot?
Somehow it doesn't just flood the entire room due to the additional volume, but alright.
Just until where we need it.
Of course.
It's very considerate of our needs. It's a...
Alright,
polite
Seth,
level.
we are now officially done with this dungeon, right? We are through. Oh, there you go.
Yay. They see me rolling.
Oh, it says it was good. It's picking back up. Oh,
Nice,
like,
what were you playing? He was on
viewership or the
vacation for a
game?
long time.
I see.
Oh no! That stuff looks hot. I wouldn't mind a little hot bath for my sore shoulders, but this is too much. What do we got here? Another new guard? You can't break me with interrogation, son. You'll never make me talk. I'm not some sideshow for you to gawk at. Get lost. Shoo now. You know, also one thing I really don't like about this game is the... Oh, that was hot apparently. There is no like races that you're used to. There's no Zoras. Well, there is some Gorons, but like they rarely appear. There is no Kokiri or Koroks. Nothing.
Oh, Pod, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Take care of yourself, alright?
Oh yeah. Sometimes you just need to, you know, relax a little bit. That's fine. Can I blow this away?
Seth, I wouldn't mind the absence of, like, the same familiar tropes and, like, species that we're used to, but, as I understand it, and tell me if this is accurate, it feels like the new species don't really have, like, distinct architecture or culture or any of that. They're just here. They're not given a lot of characterization.
They're like travelers in the world, basically. I don't know.
And that's a real shame, because they had an opportunity here to introduce some, like, you know, new fan favorites to the Zelda world, and just didn't. Because, again, Nintendo had this weird thing about making all of their games as simple as possible during this time, to the point of avoiding really striking deep design, which bothers me a lot.
Okay, how do
So, maybe you don't yet. Maybe we were just here for the key for the time being.
Okay, bye, bitch.
Maybe we need to find a way to rescue him, like by placing a platform.
We're gonna get an
beneath.
item or something in this dungeon that's gonna help us.
Probably, yes.
Alrighty.
Oh, good, more of those things. Great.
Okay, what is this? Dig, dig. God, I love these 1 rupees. Really makes a difference.
It would be great if some of those were like disguised Deku Babas or something to make you stop and think, you know, but no. This game also does seem to have a much heavier emphasis on, like, rudimentary but, like, omnipresent puzzle solving than even a lot of other 3D Zeldas.
Definitely, yeah.
Are you planning on doing any of the, like, optional challenges or things like that?
Don't think so. They don't seem fun, to be honest.
There's one of them that might be worth it.
Yeah?
The boss rush?
Of course it's a boss rush.
Well, hey, I know what I like.
Ooh. Die. Okay, what is this?
Compass, maybe?
Monster horn. Thank you.
Yes.
Useful as hell. Okay, so definitely need...
Oh god.
Yes.
Look at that thing's expression. The expression carved into that relief.
It's a very...
Nauseous frog.
Okay, so... Okay, these are just annoying. Like, what's your purpose? Just fuck off. Okay.
Oh dear god, we're going to have to get some of them over onto the fire vents, aren't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well, but I'm trying to fix...
Let me think. Can we see anything from up on the balcony? Okay. So... any way to interact with the relic? It looks like, based on... Yep.
No, I need to basically put water on his mouth to open this thing, but...
Oh, you've had to do this before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
How do we do this, then?
No.
Have you been able to grab them before?
No. It's kinda sus that this one is, like, directly here. Oh, maybe I have to... Wait. Like,
maybe you have to, like,
them?
shoot it?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Let's see if that's... Wow, that was disappointing.
No. But I think you're right. We have to do something with that sun motif. Is there anything directly up above us in that little alcove behind you? Like back there.
No.
Anything we can interact with?
Okay, wait. But I think...
Todd asks, whip it? I don't think the whip would work here.
Features vital to survive. Whip it.
Well, thank you, Fee. Useful as always. You know what I will say, though?
This just opens.
Fee or Fi, either or, is a fantastic playable character in Hyrule Warriors.
True.
Like, very, very
Shush.
good.
Not you, Beppo.
Honestly, even though I'm not a huge fan, all of the Skyward Sword characters in Hyrule Warriors were great. Girahim was a lot of fun, and honestly really useful.
I bought myself the DLC for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, because I completed the main game, like 100% completed it.
Wow.
Yeah, I really had a lot of fun with it last week. I was playing it in my downtime, so it was pretty
I'm gonna have to
cool.
pick that up and see what the new characters are like.
Oh, one game that I started playing now, well, actually I'm playing 2 games on the Switch, are SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yep.
And
Which is pretty good.
it's actually quite good. I was really surprised how good it was. And the second one is Tales of Vesperia, which also I'm enjoying quite a lot.
Right on, right on. All right, let's think now, Seth. We are 2 adult professionals working in intelligence-driven fields. We can do this. Now hold on. I see that sun relic is also carved into the floor there, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Is there something we can play there?
Nah, usually... Yeah, no.
So, it feels like we need to interact with the sun relic itself from this point. Potash Bug can't carry them? As far as we're aware, no.
No, I just tried. Maybe...
You don't think we were supposed to go back and free that bizarre mole person, right? Like, do you think a bomb could have blown the chain holding him aloft?
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go back and try to blow him up. Is a sentence
I mean, I
would say.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
It almost feels like he would be the one to give us our dungeon item, right?
Yeah. Here.
Okay, now hold on. Before we do that, what's over to the left? Can we navigate across the hall by any means?
Negative.
Can we send our beetle through?
We can.
Also, please let me know if I'm backseating too much.
Fuck. Okay. So.
Just as a general disclaimer to both you and the audience, I do not know how to solve any of the puzzles in this game.
So if I blow this up, he's gonna fall into the lava. So I don't think that's...
Wait! Look to the right. There's a hole or a couple holes in the grating, isn't there?
No.
No, there isn't. Sorry, it looked like one of them was completely vague, or one of them was completely shattered. One of those mesh windows. My bad. So, I mean, I guess if we just have to drop him into the lava, we just kind of have to, right?
I mean, for science, right? Let's see what happens.
Sure.
There you go. Okay, bye.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
What the fuck is that chain made from? Okay, let's see. Can I do something? Okay, not with that. Next. Can I catch him with the beetle? Be like, I'm gonna save you! Nope. Okay.
That is disturbingly durable chain. But look, it looks almost like it's glowing or shimmering. Is there any sword technique you may have learned that can sever objects that look like that?
I literally have just the Skyward strike.
Ah, of course. Great. Alright, well, I guess it's back to that...
That's useful. Item
that creepy atrium.
Yeah. The very bugged atrium.
Now see, if we had an empty bottle, we could just get some water from outside and solve this right quick. Joking, of course. I did not know you actually had bottles in this game, sorry. No, that would not work.
I don't think that would work. Maybe I can, like, use that.
So the objective... the objective is clearly to find a way to transport these stupid friggin' things. Hold on. Maybe it's time for more airborne reconnaissance with the beetle? Can we see anything even higher up that we might need to bomb to, I don't know, flood this area or something? I doubt it, but just anything to give us perspective. What's high up in that alcove to the left? We took a look at the ground floor, but anything?
Yeah, didn't have enough fuel. Beppo!
Okay. I do love the design of the beetle. Visually, it's got a very, very pleasing aesthetic to it.
Yeah. Okay. Nothing.
Alright. Well, this is a proper ass.
Get in. Sit. Good boy. He
Hey,
sat down,
exit.
but
Welcome to
under
the
his
stream.
own terms. Hey, exit.
Funeral man. He says, I know what to do. Alright
Shut up.
then.
Yes, exit.
So, Seth, maybe we ought to explore the balcony a bit more while we puzzle this out.
Get up to the sun logo again. Okay.
Yeah, I figured it had something to do with that, but wait a minute, Seth, are we going to have to, like, stare directly into the sun? Like that one Mario game we don't talk about? Stab the berry to get a bubble of water on your sword? What?
Oh my god.
What the shit? Well, thank you very much, Exit, and feel free to join us in voice if you'd like.
Okay, now I just need to learn how to aim.
This is ridiculous.
Who,
after slicing these things for what, Seth? Like, probably a good hour spent in this dungeon so far, would guess, oh, just stab it. And that somehow gets a different response. Like, I mean, I get it, it makes sense, but it feels very much like, 90s adventure game logic.
Yeah, thank you for spoiling that, because
Yeah.
I don't think I would have gotten that.
We were clueless.
Hold on. All of our 20 degrees were clueless. By 20 degrees I don't mean Celsius or Fahrenheit, I mean like school degrees.
Bird statue.
Yeah, for some reason they're still everywhere even though they introduced the autosave function, so...
It says, hey, I'm in ICT too, somewhat. I'm a somewhat intellectual. We all are!
I am somewhat smart. From 9 till 5. Then I
By the
don't
way,
have
Exit,
much.
starting with Sunday stream, I'm going to be running a very special project for just a couple days, probably just 2 or 3 streams, and I would love for you to join Seth, Potato, and I on commentary. I think it's something you'll really enjoy. It says after 5, I get smart.
Smart, yes. Oh god.
Are you just taking your anger out on the water fruit now?
Pretty much.
Alright, Exit, thanks, man. No pressure, just letting you know it's probably a game that you'll enjoy.
Beam me up, Scotty.
I do appreciate that they're just... Exit says, can you tell which game? No, not quite yet. I can say, though, that to get around to it, I'm going to be, mainlining Sly 3 and probably 4 on stream tonight and more or less all day tomorrow. Also, because I'm taking a couple days off after writing an absurd amount of my thesis in a week, and want to reward myself by revisiting childhood nostalgia, where work wasn't a thing. Okay, so... Can we...
I think this is a mini-boss, but I'm not sure.
No.
Yes.
I was going to say, yeah. Yeah, can we freeze those? There you are. Hello, hello. Now,
There
we
we
must ask ourselves... Oh, okay, so all you had to do was defeat them. Alright, not bad. There we are! You killed the lava, Seth. Good job.
I killed the... Why is Beppa outside again?
How did he get outside again?
Get in.
Get in!
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'm in.
Lock up your doggy. Hey, but yeah, sure. So next week, you're gonna start streaming that?
Starting on Sunday. Starting on Sunday, I'm going to be streaming a special project. I don't know how long it's going to take me because it's a game I entered an effective media blackout on quite some time ago. I've heard that it's pretty challenging, but insanely well designed and absolutely beautiful. So I hope we'll all get to explore it together.
That sounds good.
I'm excited. Luna
Absolutely.
says the Beppodini. Yes!
This
Like
is
a
his
little
Brady
Houdini.
ring. Oh yeah, no. Elden Ring, like I said, my students gonna have to teach themselves. I will be streaming that day one. In fact, their homework will be to watch my live streams of Elden Ring.
I am so excited for you to play Elden Ring. And also the Phoenix Wright. Wait. Is Phoenix
I will
Wright...
not be streaming that.
Oh.
I will not be streaming that. But I do have a copy. I need to finish my second playthrough of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, because it's been ages. And then I need to get caught up on the series. have played Dual Destinies once. I'd love to do so again, and I need to finish Spirit of Justice, which I love.
Okay.
For some reason, people hate the prosecutor introduced in Spirit of Justice, like broadly across the fandom. They think he's boring or something. I think he's a great character. Aranon, that's...
Oh my god.
Can I ban this guy? Can I ban him?
No.
Please,
We are
please
not
let me-
banning bad puns.
Oh, please let me ban him.
Exit. If we, like, exercised restraint through Potato thoroughly humiliating both of us for several weeks, we can exercise restraint here.
Fair enough. Yes, that's a decent point.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never felt so proud of, like, a fellow streamer, and felt so insecure at the same time.
All yours.
Here's-
Okay, thank you.
Here's our dungeon item.
Or maybe
Okay.
just a dungeon map.
Either or.
Oh, Mogma Myths. Okay, so now I can go underground, which is cool. I mean, okay.
Oh wow.
This is a...
Oh my god, this is Sokoban. Oh no, it's not Sokoban.
Oh, no. Aranon says they're such big fans in Abu Dhabi that they're building a themed bar. Oh god. No.
No?
Man. I'm gonna need to stream Sly Cooper just to remember how to smile again after that.
Oh, I love it. Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi.
Oh, the bomb. We've probably got to, like, knock the bomb down the corridor.
Yeah, oh, it's like Bomberman, only crappier.
Oh, so it's like Bomberman Act Zero, then.
As soon
Here's
as there
our
is an
take on-
X and 0 in the title, you know it's gonna be crap.
Like, okay, this is our review for Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. It's like Bomberman, but crappier. Put that on the box.
10 out
I
of 10
dare you.
IGN.
Are we sure that there was not some collaboration with the folks who made Immortal Unchained for this?
Oh god.
Please no.
For everyone that's new here, Brady at some point was streaming Immortals Unchained, which was so crappy that we even had one person from the development team come in and try to defend the game.
No, by saying, and they were being very nice for the record. They seemed like
Yeah.
sweet people, but their argument was, well, you can't really compare it to Dark Souls. They're two totally different things, even though they had a bunch of Souls-like mechanics just done exponentially worse.
Yeah, not only that, but also on their Steam page there was mention.
They listed it as a Souls-like. Yeah.
Can I ban him now?
This MC says click the link to proceed. Oh, well, that's a good one. MC's got a good one. But then, Aranon, how do you tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? You'll see one later and the other in a while.
Can I ban him now, please?
Oh my god.
You are laughing way too hard about this, Seth. Please
I love
go
dad
some
puns.
restraint, Seth.
Aranon says, what do you call a dog that can do magic?
Beppodini? Yes, Beppo. I was talking about you.
A labracabrador.
Labracadabrador.
Labracadabrador. Yeah, right. MC says dad's level of puns.
Do MC, is that a challenge I see?
Do better, he says.
Oh, so since we didn't get to discuss it, like, on the commentary panel, Exit, what did you think of Sly 3's representation of the Netherlands?
It was spot on. I mean, it was being outside in my own country. It was no. It's funny.
It's like
funny
being
though.
home again.
It's typical. It's like typical representation of the Netherlands when I see it. Everything.
Right down to the field mouse disguising themselves as like a World War I era German flying ace and ruling over a district of the country as a dictator.
I did tell you about that. that might have gotten you banned on Twitch, but you survived apparently.
Aye. Okay, let me take my bow and arrows out. Die, bitch.
I will tell you, at one point in the series, by complete accident, I believe, the invocation or characterization of like certain people or places does get worse than the Black Baron.
My God.
Interesting.
Not as bad as though with the what was the game again? With the poop.
Oh, the poop. There've been a lot of those.
A lot of poop.
Poop. No, what was
Again?
Oh, Conquer! Conquer's Bad Fur Day.
Conquer's Bad Fur Day, yeah. The one with the poop. That's how I will always remember it.
Oh, meanwhile, the puns just continue rolling in chat, and
He wouldn't stop chewing on electrical cords, so I had to ground him.
You did laugh.
Yes,
He's
I did.
doing better currently and conducting himself properly now.
Sorry.
MC says, yeah, gotta watch out for the loose wire.
Do better, MC. Do better.
This is my first day back, guys.
I don't know what he was doing, but I was like, oh my god. Honestly, it was all rather shocking.
Wait, so you have to strike this switch box from both sides in order to open gates?
I think it was just that one from that side, and now I probably have to go.
Is that the Zelda universe equivalent of having one of those really fiddly like latches on a door where you kind of gotta wiggle it to get it loose?
Only slower.
Yeah.
You look like fries, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. Mm-hmm.
Now I'm hungry.
I am.
And if you let like fast food fries age like beyond 7 minutes from the point of delivery, they will be exactly as hard as those like wrought iron bars.
Fascinating.
They will be soggy, like they will be kind of limp, but that outer coating will be like brittle as all hell. It is. It gets unpleasant.
I've never heard someone describe French fries as limp.
You never watched Sex and the City then?
Your French fry is limp. No, it's not an innuendo. It's legit limp.
You need properly prepared, fresh, and turgid fries.
Yes.
Turgid.
Yes.
I don't know that word, but I like it.
Like, you know, firm, stiff, rigid, erect
I like stiff
fries.
fries and I cannot lie. Okay. Stab. Because that's how we roll now, apparently.
That was what the Mycons from Star Control would always use to describe themselves when they were filled with their Juffo Wup, the substance that gave them life.
Mm.
Contact with other species from around the galaxy seemed to irritate their sensibility somehow. They were like a race of sentient, largely insane fungal people. And so before beginning battle, Star Control, by the way, was a great old series of like space adventure and combat sims that actually served as a narrative and in some regards mechanical precursor to games like Mass Effect. Before entering battle, the Mycons would also always say that they swole with Juffo Wup and became turgid. Potass, did I just hear Brady talking about erect fries? Yeah, man!
Yes. We're talking about direct fries. That's what this game is doing to us.
A review of Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. It's like erect fries. 10 out of 10. Will fry again.
Oh god. That's gonna be on ESRB rating. Too many erect fries. M.
No, jiggling fries are displayed.
Oh god.
those ESRB rating summaries are the best things in the world. And obviously, right, we understand why they're written the way they are. They have to be like a clinical description of any content that certain audiences may find objectionable regarding a certain game, and that the ESRB can also use, if challenged, to say that no, they rated the game fairly appropriately, and in keeping with their standards. But that same dry clinical tone makes it absolutely hilarious anytime they have to describe what many of us would consider very mildly offensive things, like minor curse words and things like that. Let's see. Aranon says, also, I got hit in the head with a can of Diet Coke today. Don't worry, though. I'm not hurt. It was a soft drink. Well, see y'all next week. Luna says, erect giggling fries or wiggling fries creepypasta. Ooh, a sequel to Ronald McDonald House. We could do that.
Erect giggling pasta.
Erect giggling pasta.
Jiggling buttocks.
How does one... Yeah, no, the jiggling buttocks threw me more than anything else I read in those summaries.
I honestly thought at some point that you were just making that stuff up, and then I was like, no, he's not. He's not making that stuff up.
Here's the thing. Somebody had to look at a game or think about a game and be like, okay, buttocks showing it. Whoa, buttocks in motion? Oh.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, there's... I gotta pass this up the chain of command. Let's see. Pod asks, how does one caress a fry? Clearly, you need to speak to more Americans. We have mastered these arts, my friend. NC says something firing squad. Aranon says, not sure if you guys noticed, but I love bad puns. It's just how I roll. Oh, that one's a little bit of stretching.
Good try. Oh wait, can I jump? Oh, I can jump down there. Okay, why did I do that? I don't know, but... Oh, right. Here, we can... I don't like it how the use of an instrument in this game is just...
This is basically Wonderwall. You're playing a song and then something happens on the wall.
Yes, and you're always playing the same song over and over again. It's legit.
Just like Wonderwall.
And the magical, like, ritually inscribed message from the goddess on the wall reads, "Play Freebird."
Play Freebird.
Please, no. Please stop. Let's see.
Brady, have you tried the Devs Dora already?
I have not.
Oh,
I would
saw
like
the
to get a
review.
copy and play it.
Yeah,
and stream it.
There was a review from Gerard the Completionist, and he said that's his favorite game this year so far.
Yeah,
right on.
Same for me.
Okay, well, with evaluation so positive, I will have to give it a go and stream it after the special project, hopefully before Psychonauts 2. Let's see. Aranon says, out of all the inventions of the last 100 years, the dry erase board has to be the most remarkable. Alright.
Where are you getting those? Because I refuse to believe you know them all by heart.
Well, I, for one, am a boundless repository of diarrhea-related anecdotes, so I suspect people have their passions, you know? Oh, Aranon says I keep them in my database. Oh god, look, Beppo even, like, flopped on the floor in the background.
Beppo feels my pain.
Beppo was like, I did not hear that, but I think this is the appropriate reaction.
OMC says I saw some of them on Reddit, yeah.
Wait, did I go the wrong way?
I don't think you did.
No, like, there is supposed to be, like...
And you got a key, right?
Yeah, the thing is, now I can burrow underground, and there was, I think, here? Yeah, here, that I could go underground, and probably reach this chest over here.
Okay.
I just need to figure out how to get back there.
This is reminding me of, just mentioning that reminds me of this one voice line that has been like burned into my mind from the old Pokemon Stadium game for Nintendo 64. Either of you ever
I
play
love that game. Yes.
Anytime you talk about burrowing, I just hear, because the pronunciation struck me as so weird. It burrowed underground.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Buried
And
underground.
Pokemon in that game love barrowing, whatever the
Yes.
fuck that is. Because the way that the AI in particular was scripted for Pokemon Stadium, even though it's a common tactic throughout the series, if a Pokemon can use one of those attack moves that also protects them from harm for a turn prior to execution, fly, dig, things like that, they will. Constantly. Aaronon says gonorrhea would have been a fantastic name for diarrhea medicine.
Gone, Oria.
NBRB. All right, man. Thanks for joining us.
He's gone, Oria.
See you soon.
Please stop. Another game that I've been playing is The Ascent.
How's that?
Rough, but fun. It's I'm dead serious. I mean, it's a rough game. It's really not that simple. Plus, I have the PC Game Pass version, which is not running smoothly. But I did get to experience how I can fix Windows Defender and fix my DirectX 12. So now it's running okay. It's Diablo meets Borderlands a little bit, like twin stick shooter kind of thing.
Interesting.
But it's not easy. It's not like I'm just gonna go in, go all Rambo out, and then finish this. No, it takes tactics. Sometimes you have to run away. You have to try to funnel them in, so you can have easier shots. You have to make sure you get all the weapons, so you can switch weapons. So there's not a build that you can use. You can just say, "Oh, I'm going Dex." No, you're using everything in the book. Everything.
So something, obviously, probably not necessarily a roguelike or roguelite, but something that encourages you to play, kind of like Enter the Gungeon or Nuclear Throne, something like that. That level of care.
It's like Enter the Gungeon lots. Borrows a lot.
Right on.
Yeah.
Gungeon's a great game, but also, pretty difficult to learn.
Yeah, I had that same experience with Ascent. It's a fun game. It takes a while to learn it though. Not something you just pick up.
I gotcha.
But yeah, it's free on Game Pass if you have the Game Pass.
Interesting. There is one game that I'm looking forward to, Stray. It's about
Yeah.
that kitty.
Yeah.
I like kitty.
I showed it to my wife. I said, "Look, there's a game coming out, and you have to play it as a cat." And I showed her like a clip for like a minute, and even before the minute was over, she was saying, "I want that game. I want that game."
I want 10 of those games.
Yeah. So as soon as that comes out, it's probably something I'll probably dig into as well. Pretty psyched for that.
MC says, I've had Stray on my radar for a long while. The trailer disappointed me. Oh.
Aww.
I was a little bit, because I did see the first trailer, I think it was on E3 last year, and they didn't show off the thing that's on its back, that little robot, that B12. And then the aesthetic of the game really drew to me, because it's an Annapurna game, so it's going to be rich in story, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Then they showed off the B12 and the robot, and you can talk through the robot. You can talk to the denizens of the world you're in, and that took me out of it a little bit. So I do get what you're coming at, because I was like, why do we need this? Is this something we need? But yeah, I'm really curious to see where it goes. I mean, what they're going to do with it.
Sure, and I mean, like, Annapurna titles, as you mentioned, Exit, no matter how they work out, very rarely disappoint from a narrative standpoint, right? So at the very least, you'll have that.
Yeah.
Annapurna games, what are those?
Annapurna Interactive they're a publisher, right?
Yeah.
That specialize in usually shorter, narrative-heavy, character-driven games. Usually not things like, the character and player agency-driven RPGs that I really like. But, like, tight, narrative-heavy experiences. Like, I don't know. Exit, tell me, and MC as well, tell me if you guys think this is kind of an apt descriptor for much of their catalog, somebody who isn't overly familiar. Like, they are really good at what David Cage always believed he was doing.
Oh, that's under the belt, dude. But true. It's
What
true.
are some of their games?
What Remains of Edith Finch?
Oh,
Mhm.
yes, okay.
Gone Home. Also one of my absolute favorites. I think there's the new game that came out in the Game Pass as well. It's called Last Stop. Also pretty interesting if you're into that kind of stuff.
Last
Outer Wilds also. The Last Stop. It's also
Okay.
a game, and it's a very story-driven game with 4 different stories that eventually merge into one big story. It's
Okay.
Outer Wilds, also from them, Unfinished Swan on PlayStation, like an action as well.
Outer Wilds was very, very, very good.
And I think
Wait,
Journey was also
Outer
good.
Wilds or Outer Worlds?
Outer Wilds.
Wilds.
Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds.
Okay. Is that the
Um,
one that I like or the one that I haven't played?
That's the one you haven't played.
Okay.
I don't even know the show.
No, because I was really, really into that one game that I was.
Which is getting a sequel.
Yeah, it's getting
Yes.
a sequel, yeah.
MC says, exactly, yeah, and experiencing from an outsider look would have been amazing. Surprisingly, I never got attracted to their games. I haven't either, but I really appreciate that products like that are on the market now. Because it's just giving developers cause to think about narrativity and think about storytelling and characterization to a greater extent. And y'all know the kinds of RPGs, like action RPGs, I like. The classic BioWare catalog, along with Obsidian's catalog, remain like my favorite games of all time from a design standpoint and a world-building standpoint. So I love that more studios, more publishers as well, are focusing on storytelling. That's great.
Yeah, because a lot of publishers went and said, yeah, and story games and single-player games are dead and it's not working. We need to make games as a service. We need to make multiplayer.
Yeah.
And here
fuck
all
you,
these people,
Activision.
yeah, fuck you, Activision. I'm gonna play some Annapurna games. Fuck you.
Yeah, absolutely. Dancingpot says, I tried drag racing the other day. Damn, it's hard to run in those heels. It is difficult to run in heels, I will have you know.
I can barely walk in heels. My problem with heels is whatever I mean, I have a few heels and I have actually boots with, a slight heel. Those are the
Sure.
kinds that I like the most. But I always feel like a fucking giant, like with 2-meter legs, just like being like tone, just. Boof. I don't know why.
When I had to wear them like as a part of theatrical productions in what passed for high school in my life, it really just elevated me to average height, so that was nice to experience for a couple days.
You're basically like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I'm 5'4". That's yeah.
Hey, Prince wouldn't even wear anything else than heels.
Yeah.
That's right. And Prince was shorter than I am, much shorter. Let's see. MC says storytelling is important, but too often forced or not being given the appropriate space. I don't think that's true necessarily.
Yeah, I do believe that some publishers are guilty of that verdict, but not Annapurna games.
And also, I think it's important to distinguish between like narrative as designed and what I feel happens a lot of times. If you think about the direction Sony is leading with the studios they overwhelmingly control, publishers who want their developers or team leads that want their developers to tell the same basic story or iterations of it over and over and over again without much significant narrative or setting-based change, right? Like Sony's leaning all into Last of Us style, kind of gritty AAA action or drama movie inspired titles, and that's going to affect their narrative output for a few years. It's not going to allow for things like Sly games or more thoughtful and open-ended narrative experiences like what a Mass Effect or a Dragon Age could provide to really receive a great deal of support from them, which is a shame. Aaronon says, I'm like 2 inches above the national average, but I live in an area with a lot of tall people, so I never get to feel tall. That's all right. Nothing at all wrong with it.
Same here.
I used to feel like I was average height, and then I moved here, and now I'm like taller than average woman. So yeah.
I'm
You broke out.
Yeah, you broke out.
no,
again.
no. Sorry, it's probably because the AC is running and my mic doesn't know how to work with that. I said I'm a very small man and I'm okay with that.
Dino Seth.
I'm half Asian, so I'm pretty small compared to the people in my country.
Aranon says, of course, it doesn't help that I have the proportions of a fantasy dwarf, so I don't look tall either. And MC says, I'm sure there will be a game for that nickname.
So you look like a
Dino
chunk.
Seth, yeah. No, so Seth, now you have to play Dino Crisis.
God damn it. I am 5... How much is 175 in feet and other stuff?
I think we've done this
5'8".
before, aren't you? Like, yeah, 5'8" or 5'9".
Yeah, something like that.
No, I'm 5'9". That's 180.
Okay, so it's 1/8.
5'4" here.
No, adorable.
Yep.
So there's a secret wall around here somewhere.
Aranon
Yes.
says, is 6'2". Oh, wow.
Big boy. I mean, I assume that I have to like burrow under.
Can't you burrow under there then?
It says on
This
the
room
other
has a
side of
fake
the-
wall somewhere, he said.
There's another room, or so I hear. The ground underneath us is full of monsters, so we don't go tunneling too much down there, but if you're feeling adventurous, there just might be a hidden route.
That point or after
So
the
hold
big
on.
opening? It doesn't really tell us much.
Now, Seth, this is a very big room, so that weak wall could be anywhere.
Yeah, it's here. I mean, it shows us literally on the map.
Oh, well, there you go.
But, I don't think
Look,
that we are accessing it through here, because
It's
I
through the
don't-
right wall. So.
Yeah, right wall, right. Yeah, that's that wall.
Hello, Tato.
Hi!
How's
How's it
everyone?
going, brother?
Oh,
That the one?
That should do it.
Do it.
do it now.
There we go.
Hey!
You're very stocky? What does stocky mean?
Kind of bulky in build. Not necessarily like we would think of as overweight or anything like that, but someone
Ah.
with kind of a denser build. Like broad
Okay.
shoulders.
So, like Big Ed, he was actually big.
Yeah, instead of just Ed.
More than medium-sized Ed.
I love that
Oh, no,
people
it's a
online.
Moldorm.
Yeah, it's a Moldorm. I love that people online have quite rightly taken to calling him Big Pred in light of his behavior.
He's pissed
Big
now.
Fred.
Aranon says, like, I have a chest circumference that would make a 90s porn star cry.
Arr.
Well, there's not many things that would accomplish that, I don't think. And MC says, basically a dwarf, half elf, half dwarf. Oh! Is such a thing even possible in fantasy? I'm pretty sure it's overblown, the notion that, like, fantasy elves and dwarves hate each other. But they
think
just
that was-
never get along super well.
Yeah.
Brady, it's fantasy. Everything is possible.
Except good drow, apparently. That is not okay, according to many people.
I mean, I tried.
Well done, Seth.
Nice job, Seth.
Yay, look at me going backwards. Like a pro.
Link, you look good. Better back that ass up.
Oh god. Gotta play some Cardi B in the background.
You know, that song was, at least as far as I'm aware, Lil Wayne's first presence on a really big single.
Wait. Just the thingy that goes around 136
Use your
centimeters.
words. Use your words.
Circumference.
Failing that, use mine.
There's cum in the middle, so I'm okay.
Jesus
What?
Christ.
What?
Y'all! I've been gone for 8 days!
I've been gone for one stream, and this is deteriorated. This is all Exodust's fault.
Yeah.
Why is it my fault?
I don't
No.
know.
No, guys,
It
remember,
is you.
remember who the real enemy is.
Wait. Guys,
Oh, yeah, right,
he said,
Seb, this
I
is all
can
Seb's
literally wrap a 10-year-old around my chest. Prove it. Okay, you can continue now.
I was going to say, let's remember who the real enemies are here. first off, everybody in management at Activision Blizzard, because fuck them. And secondly, everybody involved in the creation of Immortal Unchained, because they put me through something.
They don't bend enough. Have you tried hard enough?
I mean, they don't bend enough while they're alive, but I'm
You know
pretty
how
sure if you
Yoda
kill
said
one,
it. There
you can
is
do
no
what you want.
just do. There is no try. Just do it. Wow, are we now measuring our boobies?
This is how Seth got banned from Twitch.
Do or do not. There is no try. Exactly what Shinjika said.
So we're almost to that boss door.
We're in a new area?
No, we're just back outside once again, I believe.
Yeah.
Boring.
Okay, let me just kill all of this.
Also, can we take a moment to acknowledge how disgusting the Octorok analogs look in this game?
Yeah, there are Octoroks, but they're for some reason aerial. Like airborne.
Like, Jesus Christ, those things don't even look all that imposing or like they belong in this area's ecology.
They kinda look like very chunky Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, Gungan heads. Oh, thank God, Bokoblins. Just reintroduce some decency to this stream, sir. Well, he tried.
Yeah, he should have
Shinjika,
tried.
welcome to the stream. Good evening.
Please,
Hope
no
you're-
Jar Jar Binks. Aww. Me so funny.
Don't.
Renan says, I played American football for quite a few years, and I was the shortest lineman on the team. I will believe that.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
American football players, like, at the college level and upwards, tend to be absolute giants.
Monsters.
Although I think you meant
Jar
to say
Jar
hand
Binks.
egg, not football. Hand egg.
Right.
Hand egg, yeah.
Sorry, but I meant players of the great American marketing machine. Shinjika says, even if after seeing the new trilogy, Jar Jar Binks and the midichlorians aren't that bad, hey now. Except for the 9th film, I would argue the new trilogy is actually pretty solid. I liked film 7 and 8 quite a lot, really. It's just that last one left a really bad taste in my mouth.
That's what she said.
I also really liked Solo, for what it's worth.
I have still not seen that one.
Me neither. I've
a good
also
time,
not
actually.
seen Rogue One.
Ooh!
Rogue
Now, Rogue
One's
One's
pretty
really
good.
good. Even
Yeah.
even people who hate the post-Disney Star Wars love that one. Let's see. Arianon says, I was the fastest center in the league back in the day, though. My shuttle run times were faster than most of our receivers. Right on, man. And I, too, like Solo. And Rogue One was fucking fantastic. That's right. Shinjika says, Rogue One is really great. At least you see a war. So see, people are united in their support for Rogue One. Oh my god, did we actually get everybody on this stream to agree on something?
Yeah, something Star
Like,
Wars
an opinion
related.
regarding... No, just something regarding pop culture. Like,
I'm mind blown. Also, I
think
might
we
be drunk, so.
agree a lot more. We agree on a lot of things, don't we?
So, which one is the best Dark Souls?
No. I mean, we agree on something actually on stream. We realize that we have the same
Oh.
opinion.
Oh, best Dark Souls is Dark Souls 1.
So I think among Dark Souls, all of us are split.
Is it? Oh yeah,
Alright.
your favorite is Dark Souls 2, isn't it, Brady?
My favorite is DS2. I'm pretty sure, Seth, you said yours is Dark Souls 3. And Potato,
Yeah.
you're probably going to like Bloodborne more than anything else, given how well you...
To be honest, Dark Souls 1 was pretty fun as well.
didn't
Dark
push it
Souls
in the
2,
wall.
I'm right now hating anyone who was involved in making it.
You just chose the Champions Covenant accidentally, okay? That was a mistake.
Yeah,
No. Yes.
choosing a dex weapon, that wasn't a mistake though. Still bad choice though.
Let me see. Aranon says, I actually did a music edit of the Vader hallway scene. I swapped the music for Queen's Don't Stop Me Now. Right on.
Don't stop me
Um,
now.
Let's see. Shinjika says Dark Souls 1. Somebody told me they make Dark Souls 2, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. You never know. They actually did call in quite a few auxiliary studios because Dark Souls 2, despite its incredible quality, actually did suffer a pretty troubled development. In part due to the fact that the project was handed off to another director within FromSoft, and as nice a guy as he is, and as wonderful as many of his ideas on design are, Director Miyazaki, now President Miyazaki, the guy behind Demon Souls, Souls 1, 3, and Bloodborne, just really didn't like the fact that the Dark Souls 2 that was in production deviated from a lot of, what he might expect. So he kind of ordered them to throw everything out. And,
Also, don't
start
forget,
again.
if you're interested in gaming trivia and tidbits, feel free to check us out on YouTube, where we have a podcast called Overanalyzing.
God damn it.
Well, we do have Overanalyzing Creepypasta as well, but the one that I wanted to talk about was just the Overanalysts, where we're talking about a bunch of different topics gaming related, some serious, some less serious. There was one episode where we talked about harassment of women in video games, and that was, I gotta say, like a
rather timely.
yes.
Yeah, we had a lot of tips and tricks how to harass them in game.
Yes.
Just kidding. Don't
Lots
cancel
of
me, please.
tits and tips.
Tits and
Let me
tips,
see.
Yes.
MC says Shinjika says they prefer Dark Souls 1. MC says he prefers Dark Souls 2. We're of a mind on that. I am so surprised that I managed to show somebody the entire series and they were like, no, yeah, Dark Souls 2 is pretty legit. And Pot says there was no mistake. He just don't read. Sell kidney.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Yeah, let me see. And, of course, you can join our Discord, which Exit so kindly linked in the chat, if you would care to engage with all of the fine voices you are hearing today, along with our wonderful community of positive and enthusiastic nerd culture indulgers, I suppose?
Indulgers.
Indulgence?
Enthusiasts.
Is that a word?
Consumers. Hi, I'm from the United States. We're all consumers.
Capitalism! Fuck
Even if we
yeah.
don't like it, and
You
nobody
buy it.
does,
We will still buy it. Beauty.
flash images of every Call of Duty from the past 12 years on screen.
Assassin's Creed as well.
And ask people if it's the same game, and they will say yes.
It's like that meme from The Office, like they're the same picture.
Exactly.
You know what, though? We might get around to it in today's Sly stream. We probably will. I will get to show you guys. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. The best thing from Assassin's Creed, like the very best thing, the thing about the series, or the one spot in the series that just about every critic agrees was of incredible quality, Sly also did first.
He also agreed on the quality first, or?
No. Sly also... We talked before, right, about how the formula introduced with Sly 2 really kind of predicated the Assassin's Creed-esque formula of chapters dedicated to targeting specific villains and characterizing them throughout missions and building up to this big heist or this big assassination at the end. But Sly also did it much better, with a greater level of variety and kind of verve. You're going to see that the best, most universally celebrated aspect of modern, or really Assassin's Creed overall, was also done by Sly Cooper first, though it's arguable if they did it better.
Safe.
Well done.
Yay! That was a really smart move, detonate shit underground.
Now all three of those dragon heads look like they've just seen a Big Ed mukbang. Let's see, MC says maybe Seth is behind the whole Blizzard thing. Secret agent.
Yeah, Agent Seth. Hey.
You can neither confirm or deny.
Yeah, exactly. Hey. She's so cuddly since the surgery. She wants to be around me all the time.
Yeah, she's like, please, I will be good now. Do not send me back to that place.
Poor
Is my
thing.
nose clean now? Yes. Thank you.
Pot says they want nice rings though, so no simple engagement. Well, hell, man, I would want a nice ring too.
I want a
In
nice
fact, I
ring
do.
too.
I'm thinking Brady wants the Elden Ring.
I do, which I will get in time.
You need to 3D print him an Elden Ring.
But man, I come from an old entertainment family. If I'm not wearing like a 3-piece suit in some garish color and several rings for formal occasions, I'm doing something wrong.
Oh, by the way, Pot has been trying to bring back like the fancy wear on stream. So I think that you would appreciate it.
Absolutely. If I did not look like hot garbage on, or no, sorry.
You
if I
don't
did
look
not
like hot
old
garbage anymore.
Not
I mean,
anymore.
you don't look like hot garbage.
Not anymore. Let that
No,
sink in.
He had a haircut. He looks pretty damn good now.
If I thank
He
you,
had a haircut like a month and a half ago.
that is also correct. If I didn't look like old garbage on a hot sidewalk, I would use a face cam as well. But I honestly think my voice alone is a better presentation for me, especially right now. MC says just ask the Lord of the Rings for one. Well, no, his whole thing was he got one ring, and then they like cut off that one finger somehow, and so then he had no ring. And he's just kind of bumming around trying to find it, like the entirety of that film trilogy amounts to Sauron digging around the back of his SUV for something he dropped back there a few years ago, and just like, god damn it, not being able to find it. That's really what Lord of the Rings is about.
Okay, let's go this way. Yes, Poppy?
Pod asks, by the way, Potato, have you seen Apex update?
Nice correction, Brady. Pot, I'm downloading it right now. Holy fucking shit, 60 gigabytes. What the fuck?
Oh my god!
What?
That's like a cyberpunkian level patch.
No, I'm not sure that the game had 60 gigabytes.
So
Also
you're
like
basically
Cyberpunk.
downloading.
Oh, size of local files, 68.5 gigabytes.
Aw. Ish. Yes, you can sleep here. Ish.
By the way, Brady, have you seen the Uka Uka I printed?
Yeah, man, that looks great.
Yep. And now, next thing I'm printing is Seth's Hecate.
Yay!
Right on.
And then yours, Pimp Guard.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hollow Knight.
I'll have to have like, I will not do a face cam, but I will have to have like a camera just focused on the Pimp Guard figurine throughout my Silk Song playthrough.
The bridge of decision. Choose the path you believe in. Move forward bravely. Do I have to like sprint or something?
I think it might be move forward bravely. Can you just run off the edge?
Uh-oh.
That doesn't look good.
That
Uh-oh.
doesn't look gonna hurt.
Uh-oh.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Let's try the
So,
other side.
no. That's almost certainly not it. Notice that one set of eyes are open while the other are closed. Oh!
Whee! See?
Pick the direction you would care to travel in as long as that direction is left.
Yes. You have a
Bastard.
choice. Left.
Yeah. Here are your choices. Left.
Well, once you remove the wrong direction, all the correct one is the one you have left.
Well, to be
here's one.
fair, they did say just choose a direction and move forward bravely. They did not say that direction would be the correct one.
Yes. I mean, you do have enough cards to try that anyways. Fucking hate the lethal foes in this game. With this
They look like they've
huge
been
hand.
taking lessons from the Murray.
Yes.
Nowhere near as cool, though. So, how are you meant to defeat these things?
Sheer luck.
Patience, I guess. Probably an
Are
attack
you-
bomb as well.
No, were you meant to kind of fake them out, like with Girahim in the first temple? Like get them blocking in one direction and then swing around.
Also,
MC
fuck
says,
that.
no merit to them. Man, speaking of, wait till you see how Murray plays in Sly 4. If you think he is an engine of mindless destruction now, oh baby. Oh, it gets better.
Murray, what happened to you?
No one will ever hurt the Murray again.
Isn't he like supposed to be all zen and shit?
Yeah. Until that elderly opera singer beat the crap out of Bentley.
Oh yeah, not that.
MCS, does he get a gun? Oh no, man, Murray doesn't need a gun. He is the gun.
Yeah.
More
Got two
like an
guns,
atomic
like
bomb.
Iron Sky.
I need hearts. Give me.
Like, I'm pretty sure if Interpol actually captured the Cooper gang, like, Sly and Bentley might go to jail, but they would just, like, launch Murray into the sun, because nothing else could contain him.
And even that's not 100% guaranteed that will kill him.
No, he might just smash straight through it.
I just look at
that's
the
how the
greenhouse games
humanity
we're getting. In one day and 4 hours, you get Katamari Damacy Reroll.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna be sick that day, and I won't be able
Oh, man.
to work. I'm playing color.
I
I'm
don't know
right
if
there
you
with
guys
you.
See, but she is trying to like put her paw on my arm, and that is how she's been sleeping for days now, just lying in my
Aw.
lap and putting her paw on me. Yes.
So to Exit's point, I grew up playing the Katamari games and I adore them. I am so distraught that we've gotten like a couple remasters and re-releases, but not a new title in ages since what was it, man? Like Katamari Forever,
Yeah, that's lovely.
which was really good.
Yeah, it was. Loved it.
Welcome back, Luna. Welcome back. They say that's how Murray ended all life in the universe.
Yes.
That's right, and Murray doesn't even count as being alive anymore. He just is.
Yeah.
To be or not to be, Murray.
This MC says if you kill everyone being hostile, you can achieve tranquility. Murray is One Punch Man. He actually is, as of Sly 4. Like we will get him to a point where Murray can kill anything in a single strike. He also, for the record, gets the worst boss fight in the game. So there's that.
You have to. Otherwise, it would be too good. I mean, you have to.
Yeah,
I think.
He has a boss fight with the character whose design and characterization I contend is really, really problematic. And mechanically, it's just not a great deal of fun. But MC says, by the way, latest One Punch Man chapter release. Saitama casually
nice.
bathing in magma. All right. That's like the parody manga, right?
Have you ever seen One Punch Man?
Yeah, I get the gist.
Weren't there like 2
It's
seasons?
really good.
Oh, only 1 season?
Yeah, but the second season is coming out soon, I think.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that.
One Punch!
Okay, so we got some kind of training ground here, maybe. Going to have to interact with all of those dummies?
Bring light to each statue in accordance with the number of wings each possesses from least to most. When light resides in each statue, the king's treasure shall be yours. Thank you for
Right
literally
on.
giving me a step-by-step tutorial.
Princess Luna says, second season was done a long time ago. And MC says season 2's been out for a while, and there's a drop of quality because different studio. I see. So now you want the one up and to the right.
Yeah, and then top right.
Yeah. Okay, so I do see the moat of difficulty here because you're gonna have to like move around without triggering a different statue. I mean, it's still not exactly a brain buster, but at least there's some element of puzzle here.
Okay, this one, then the one
To the south, yeah, and then up and to the left. And she says, but I've been reading it for a while now. I gotcha. Oh, and look, the chamber up above is actually getting brighter as each sconce is lit. That's nice.
Yay!
Nice touch.
And now,
Like,
let me
yeah.
guess, that thing is gonna try to kill me. Yes.
Yep.
Of course. Aesthetically, this game is really impressive. I just wish there was kind of more substance to it, you know? Again, the Central and South Asian inspired dungeon architecture, I love that. Need to see more of that. So MC says, so Seth, Odd Taxi, yay or nay?
Odd Taxi, I watched, I think, 3 episodes in total. Not really my thing. It is fun, but I just don't like the art style, to be honest. So
More of a crazy taxi person? I understand. I mean, what kind of heartless monster wouldn't be down for crazy taxi?
Man, I hadn't heard that speak before. Oh,
I know, right?
that brings back memories.
Those were great games to, like, just kill time with it in arcade, though.
Crazy Taxi came out after Carmageddon, right?
Pretty sure, yeah. I love the sprint or sprint analog animation for Among the Mets. MC says, kind of sad to hear it. That Odd Taxi isn't for Seth, or that I remember ancient arcade games with disturbing amounts of clarity. I mean, that is sad, trust me.
But
MC says, nobody's no.
Yeah, I mean, I like the other suggestions that you had, so, you know. This is the first flop for me.
Can we also appreciate the adorable burb motifs on those totems? Mysterious crystals.
It's basically the boss key.
Yeah, that's the key that Seth always gets.
They kind of look like penguins.
Figure out 25 minutes.
Kind of look like Angry Birds.
Oh no.
Less
Yeah,
angry.
let's get the fuck out of here.
I instantly got that Angry Birds song in my head. Thank you, Potato.
Wow.
Wait, was there another gallery off to the side up there? Oh no, you already got it. You got the chest. Never mind. Beep beep. MC says, but it is true that the graphics are made by a newer studio. Let me ponder on a next suggestion with that in mind. I mean, like I think we all know that what Seth needs to partake of is the Yu-Gi-Oh animes, which are the best.
No, just the abridged series.
No. She needs to see like 3 hours of 2 distraught teenagers trying to figure out how to play their card game. It's the best.
It sounds like the scenes he has at work, but that's just me. Like a bunch of nerds trying to play cards.
Wow.
That's my idea of your workplace. Yes.
I was gonna say that kind of sounds like your average Magic the Gathering tournament. How the
But if the internet tells us anything, isn't it like, oh, there's way more like grotesque butt cracks at Magic tournaments?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not that bad here.
No. Like specifically,
I don't go to everyone. But
American Magic culture is probably very different and very sad in comparison.
How do I get out of here?
There's definitely more butt cracks.
however, the Yu-Gi-Oh side of things had to add a tournament rule that players should be freshly showered and wear deodorant.
Yeah,
The tournament.
Yep, I read that too. That was awesome.
You know what, though? Kudos to them for saying, you know what, we're going to make an official, we are going to draft legislation about this. We are going to regulate that ass. That stanky ass. That rank ass. Not in our public spaces, no.
Can I like detonate this?
No, I doubt it. I think you might have to find a way back from the tower.
I think there's a different exit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. MCS, did you go through Dorohedoro, Seth? Otherwise, Sakamoto Desuga?
Negative to both of them. So I am gonna check those out. Nope.
You gotta watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. It's just the best.
You
There
know-
is a short arc where a student, like a child held captive deep underneath the playing card high school, is brought out of his cell to battle the main character by an elitist professor because his very presence, he's like, depending on your interpretation, so calm or so high that he renders people in his vicinity completely incapable of functioning.
Wow.
It's great.
Sounds like drugs to me.
And his deck is based around this army of like tofu-based stoned angels. The Moki Moki. They're great.
You know what was one other ridiculous thing in this game? You collect bombs by activating the flower bombs and then putting them into your pocket.
Oh!
That's how that works, right?
Because it's like, oh yeah, look, this bomb is gonna go off. Better put it in my pocket.
It's just make sure Link never falls down, okay? Make sure he doesn't trip over any cracks in the pavement.
Sounds to me like a time-space continuum pocket or something.
Sounds like the kind of way technology would work in the A-Team, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Let me see.
Fucking...
Shinjika says Dorohedoro is completely crazy, and MC says, yep, at the moment our anime watch group is into Dororo. They love these recommendations of mine.
Nice.
I don't doubt it. You're very knowledgeable about the medium. And Shinjika says an artificer pocket. Yeah, he's got like a bag of holding. And apparently also defusing.
Yes. That's how that works.
Bag of defusing.
Anyway, I'm gonna go and head out. I have to
Alright,
get up
excellent.
early tomorrow. But thank you for
Goodbye.
having me. And hey,
Thank
guys,
you so much
have
for
a
joining us.
great evening. Goodbye, chat, and behave.
Yeah, good to talk to you again, man. Have a good night and a good day at work tomorrow.
Alright, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
We'll pray for you.
Bye.
No, we're not.
Oh, MC says, keep in mind Dororo and Dorohedoro are two completely different things. Ah, of course they are.
Dororo, 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 dororo.
Kind of like how in the US you can call about 12 totally different things butter legally.
Or cheese.
Oh, well, you can call anything cheese. I could be... The chair I'm sitting on may be defensibly cheese in a legal sense.
Yeah, a friend of mine who recently moved to States, he is very much lactose intolerant, and he was like, yeah, I started eating cheese like crazy in the States, because nothing they have as cheese is actually cheese.
That is true. And so, yeah, so can you call Brady butter? I mean, probably. I contain a lot of fat, so...
Yeah, you have Brady, and then when he's unavailable to stream, I replace him, and then it's I can't believe it's not Brady.
Wow. Wow.
Well, actually, since you've been playing
In a very,
through the same
in a very
Souls-like I did,
disappointed, like tone.
no, the product would be like, I can't believe it's competent. Like, if you're used to my streams, you were used to seeing me just flip and flop all over the place.
Flip and
I mean, you
flop
haven't seen me play last. Was it yesterday? Yeah, that was yesterday.
Potato,
Yes.
that's again because you accidentally triggered the hard mode right
Yes,
out of the
I
gate.
Still did it.
But hey, guess what? I'm available for summoning now, and the way Dark Souls 2 works, much like Bloodborne, you can call me into your game, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
So we got this, man. Like, I'm not gonna let Dark Souls 2 hurt you
Wait,
or turn you off the series.
Which boss was the one where you had to summon help? Ah, Manus.
Oh yeah, that was the only one in Dark Souls 1. that
Yeah.
I
Luna
summoned.
says, he's a butter-free. I'm sorry. All right. And if she says, Brady, watch it. The humor's being spread. Oh, yeah. Yes, this fight. All right.
Oh, hello there, Link. I see you're still among the living. Fancy meeting you here. We seem
love
to
his
bump into
design.
each other time and time again. Oh, it's no coincidence, though, is it? You and I were bound by a thread of fate. Oh, look at these old drawings. Until I found
Cute
these,
spotlights.
I was upset about the little stunt the goddess's guard dog pulled at the gate of time. What was that twig's name again? Impa? I don't like Impa's design in this game. It's scary.
Oh?
Well, never mind that, because these drawings suggest the existence of a second gate of time. This news has just filled my heart with rainbows. Yeah, like she looks like a twig.
Very tall and thin.
Yes. I've been a busy boy, searching here and there and everywhere for another Gate of Time. Thank you for telling me that. Like, what is up with these evil characters and explaining all of their plans? And yet, I couldn't even find a single clue. Since I know I can be honest with you, I'll admit I got a little sulky. It was frowns all around.
I'm curious. They tried to play it very safe and not introduce many new concepts to the world or design or any of that to this game, right? But they're like, oh, villain, let's break out that old sex clown concept that Jerry worked on last year.
Oh yeah. But then I found this place. The prospect of a second Gate of Time has made me positively giggly.
God, I love this character.
That girl, your adorable friend, she will be instrumental in bringing about the revival of my master. And though I feared she was now quite beyond my reach, I despair no longer. But before we talk any further on that subject, there's still the outstanding matter of your punishment, Link. Do you remember when I told you that the next time we met, I'd make your ears bleed from the sound of your own screams? Well, I've been thinking, perhaps corporal punishment is a touch harsh. I might be willing to forgive and forget if you'll strike a deal. All I ask is that you tell me where I can find the other Gate of Time. Why do you think I know? Oh, no, wait, I do know. That's not too much to ask, is it? Oh, why don't you play coy with me? I know that you know, so why not let me in on the fun? It's at that old lady that taught me how to use the harp.
So, Shinjika says this is Kefka who didn't try hard enough, and MC, oh god. No, you know who I'm reminded of here exactly, right down to the diamond motif?
Who?
The Jester
Hisoka.
Dementio from Super Paper Mario.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, alright.
Such behavior, a mischievous boy like you needs to be dealt with firmly. Also this like kind of coquettish way of talking and stuff. That's how Hisoka also talks. I must warn you, I won't go easy on you this time.
Let's do it. Inzi says Hisoka is a better character. Oh, now, even though I don't know the character in question, I would challenge that because Girahim is one of the best parts of like the modern Zelda franchise.
Lovely,
I don't
aren't they?
like this game very much. I love this guy.
Behold, such beauty. Such a pure form. Such an exquisite physique. Such stunning features. Yes, I've pretty much got it all, though there is one teensy tiny thing I lack. Namely, mercy.
Oh, God!
Come to me,
Shinji
Link.
just
You
said-
and I were
I'm-
bound by that thread of fate, destined to fight.
I'm sad I'll never see the ending of Hunter x Hunter and Berserk. Oh? Are they not being properly completed, or? It is either no, Hisoka is better. Well, look at these fight mechanics, though. Like, Girahim is where the original game's motion control gimmick actually worked really, really well. Remember, Seth, it's all about misdirecting him.
Where the... Oh.
Oh, you also got to see the other best fight in the game during your last stream, no doubt, Seth. Koloktos
Yeah.
in the Buddhist-inspired temple, which is the best dungeon in the game.
Damn it.
Oh, Shinjika says Berserk's author died this year. That's right, that's right. And Hunter x Hunter's author is sick, so he releases a couple of chapters every few months. I see. Well, best wishes then to the author of Hunter x Hunter and his loved ones.
I'm pretty sure that he has probably not the entire story, but scripts somewhere. So even in the unfortunate event of his passing, there would be someone who could continue the story.
So, Seth, can you control the direction your sword is pointing?
Yeah.
Do you remember what to do here?
Yeah, I need to point in one direction and then strike from the other.
Yes, and have him ready to catch you. I have a feeling this would actually be much easier with the Wii Motion Plus, honestly.
Or the Joy-Cons.
Yeah. But at the very least, even if this is more difficult, we still get to play with probably the coolest controller on the market right now. That Switch Pro controller is amazing.
Oh, I yesterday disassembled it to clean it up. It was the easiest disassemblement of a controller I ever had.
I've never disassembled a controller.
Yeah, it was really, really simple.
Sometimes you don't want to disassemble them. No, I think the PS2 controllers were made in such a way that if you weren't careful while disassembling them, they were a real pain in the ass when you wanted to put them back together.
I'm sure. Yeah, it looks... Well, because, at least as I remember my PlayStation 2 controller, it looked like the two halves of the shell were just barely holding together by default.
Oh no, they're pretty well screwed together.
Oh, okay.
It's just there's a lot of tiny parts that aren't well secured, and then just putting them together so they're in the right place without them falling out before
So,
you
like,
get...
internal.
Yeah, internally it was a pain in the ass.
Alright. Oh, here comes the sword. Yeah, baby! Look at those swords!
Fucking hell.
MC says, so Brady, starting from Demon Souls, the games were inspired by Berserk. Oh, I know this very, very well. And in fact, a lot of character designs and concepts were ripped, not even inspired by Berserk as much as they were lifted from the series wholesale. But again, my biggest hope for Elden Ring is that Miyazaki doesn't just insist on going back to the well and, like, presenting those same tropes and characters, more or less, again. I get that he really, really likes one very specific type of fantasy world,
Yeah.
but hopefully the success of things like Bloodborne and Sekiro demonstrated to him, at least, that, you know, you can diversify. You should diversify and show your players new things, if you can. Berserk, though, I have heard is very, very, very good. Very,
The
very
original.
dark. There are also apparently a couple Berserk video games that weren't half bad.
I don't know about the Berserk games, but I know that the remake of Berserk from 2016, I think, or so, was very, very badly received.
So
Due to
I
the fact they
think...
wanted to do like 3D effects or something, and it ended up badly. I have
I've heard about
theory, so...
Ooh, Lord, deja vu. Okay. I just feel like I've had that same exact conversation watching the same exact thing before, but alright. MC says at least watch some of the movies. Oh, yeah, I probably will at some point. Mainly because I want to see some gnarly action to relax after probably chapter 2 or 3 of the thesis, when your dear friend will be just barely holding on.
When are you planning on starting the next chapter?
Oh, well, the way my schedule works is I read and research for 3 weeks, and then dedicate 1 week to writing a draft of a chapter. Now,
Okay.
my thesis has to be presented, more or less, by the very end of October or the first few days of November. So what I have to do then, my job, or my aim, is to complete Chapter 2, which should be a little easier than Chapter 1, this month. Chapter 3, which should be the easiest and shortest by far, the following month, and dedicate that last month or so of time I have to making edits or modifications as my thesis committee recommends, along with writing a quick little introduction and conclusion. So, the way I have it designed, this sucker actually gets a little easier to write with each subsequent phase.
Nice.
In part to account for the fact that I'm probably going to lose much of my
Motherfucker.
stamina, right?
Oops, sorry. That was loud.
What? Don't worry. As long as you didn't, like, press out motherfucker in Morse code with a drill, I think you're fine.
Right.
Shinjika says, yeah, the last Berserk anime was bad, but the last Berserk game was a Mozo, and that was bad. Oh. Really? I've heard the Mozo was alright. MC says, yeah, Berserk 2016 was terrible, but the Golden Age arc is still among the best for animated format. Oh, wow. You know, on Netflix, they've been, at least in the US, they've been promoting that Fear Street trilogy of, like, 80s
Oh,
style
yeah.
horror films. I
In
watched the
Germany as
first
well.
one. I watched the first one while I was working on my thesis, and you know, for like
Yeah.
silly, schlocky horror films, it's actually pretty good.
You know what really upsets me? Like, I've never watched anything even similar, and all of my suggestions are filled with it. It's like, I'm really not your target audience. Like, you're just pissing me off with that.
Maybe you don't even know that you are.
Maybe Netflix knows you better than you know yourself. Shinjika says, sorry, and the Muzo game was nice. Okay, yeah, that kind of tracks with what I heard. Never heard, like, you know, absolutely glowing things about the Berserk games, but I've heard that, like, for licensed games, they're pretty nice. I'll be right back, y'all.
Stop licking your lips, you perv. Get some lip balm. Tired, Potato?
Yeah.
Oh no, why?
I don't know.
Potato, why?
Also, my throat is a bit sore.
Oh,
I
no.
think it might be
Rona?
catching something. Well, I'm vaccinated, so hoping not, but who fucking knows. Also, you know, leave it to me to get sick while I'm on vacation.
You're on vacation?
Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah.
You
I
could have
might be
just
doing
taken sick.
some. Well, this was a vacation I planned for like 2 months.
Alright, you had to do all in advance like I had to.
Yeah.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Alright, how's this coming along?
A little bit better.
So I think you may be able to, like, swipe your sword along a path traced by the lines of daggers to, like, deflect them all.
Okay.
Well, doesn't it make sense if you could swap them away when he was using them to guard himself? Let's see. Not that, obviously. At least you're able to get hits on him way more easily in this phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it felt like a spin attack there would have done the job. Don't have time to charge one up, or?
I don't think I have a spin attack in this game. Or do I? No. Oh yeah, I do. Hey Poppy, you're coming at the bad time. I still love you though. Son of a...
Seems kind of like that walkthrough that Potato and I consulted for Amygdala in Bloodborne. If you stand stock still, that plunge attack will miss you most of the time. Not always.
Game over? Where is my fairy?
On vacation, apparently. Alright, Seth, let's do this thing.
Where is my fairy? I don't have one? Hey, fuck you. Fuck you. Give me that heart. Me. Alright. It's a good thing they're at least letting me skip the entire dialogue with Girahim.
Yes, very good. The Nintendo's finally caught on to the whole skippable cutscene craze. It's a good quality of life measure, I think.
True.
Yeah, this looks like it's actually much harder without the motion plus.
Yeah, because I'm doing everything with a single analog stick.
Which is a shame, because, again, mechanically, these are my favorite fights in the game.
Yeah, indeed.
I don't know if we can handle this fusion, though. He's got, like, the style of David Bowie and the tongue of Gene Simmons. It's... might be too much for us.
I cannot handle that.
Nice! Slightly less nice.
I don't think that's sanitary.
I get the feeling nothing about this guy is sanitary. There you go! Shoot! It's all about swatting the daggers away. Does he present his guard in the same exact way every
Yes.
time? Does it look like you damage him with the daggers you throw straight into him?
I think so.
Yeah, nice. Well, I say daggers, they're really like kunai.
Damn it. It's really hard to execute the spin attack with the analog stick.
I bet, kind of like the spin toss in Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Hop, hop, hop.
Yeah, it's just like I'm just gonna hop my way out.
Yeah, I feel like this game and its gimmick in particular really shine more in boss and mini-boss battles than like anywhere in exploration or
Oh, yeah.
dungeoneering. Oh, so Potato, Saturday, do you think you'll be wanting some backup for the Pursuer?
Oh, the Pursuer is dead.
Oh, you got him!
Yeah.
Nice!
All it took was me not playing on highest difficulty.
Yeah, it usually works like that. God, but he's got a lot of health, doesn't he?
Yes.
Or Sev's doing no damage.
No, she's definitely landing hits. Just, he's
Weak ass.
pretty
hit.
durable.
Weak ass hits, yes, I'm just tickling him with my sword. There we go.
Hey! Well done, Seth.
Enough of this foolishness. I am Girahim, Demon Lord.
Dear
It shouldn't matter how powerful your sword is, you're still nothing. Not just a human child, and yet you prevail. I'm a child? Okay.
Notice his manner of speech changes completely at this
You
point.
filthy scamp, you have awakened a wrath that will burn for eons. I swear to you, whatever it takes, I will drag you into an eternity of torment.
Oh, this isn't even his final form.
He ain't.
It isn't, actually.
Oh,
But you've won that fight. Congratulations. Receive your gift from the dodo gods, or whatever those statues are meant to depict.
Dodo gods.
No, you know what they look kind of like? The burrowing snagrets from Pikmin.
Oh yeah. Now, give me my final flame so I can open the gate of time.
Almost to the end, Seth.
Almost. And...
I mean, you gotta do several more things before we reach the true end of the game, one of which is very, very, very underwhelming, but
Aww,
almost there.
don't tell me that.
No, just getting you ready. You're probably going to hate one of the things you have to do.
Now let Fee dance the song of her people.
Which happens to be Bust It Baby by Plies featuring Neo. It's
Apparently,
nobody understands why, but it is.
Grime is getting very good reviews.
Yes, and a wonderfully talented composer, whom I follow, Alex Rowe, was hired to work on its soundtrack. So I have no doubt. I'm keeping myself in a media blackout because I want to play and stream it for all y'all. But I've no doubt that it's going to be a great time. Grime, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Grime.
Woo!
Flame of Din. Din. And now the Master Sword finally looks like a Master Sword. Well, it should be blue, not dark gray, but okay. I don't think that hat is very comfortable for, sword fight.
Probably not at all, yeah.
Master, now that it has been tempered by the last of the sacred flames, your blade has finally revealed its true form. You now hold the Master Sword. With this sword's great power, you can awaken the gate of time within the sealed temple. I recommend you make your way to this location. Alrighty. To the sky! Yes. Oh, Brady wanted to show you I got myself the amiibo.
Oh, let's see. Oh, that looks very nice. A bit bigger than your standard amiibo because of the loft wing, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of, here we go.
Are you gonna keep it in the box, Seth?
For now, yes.
Are you one of those freaks?
Well, I will see. The thing is that the special thing that it gives for this game, it doesn't really matter to me, and that's teleportation to the sky. Without using that statue. And
Which isn't super important, as you said.
no.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, right now, I did not feel any need for it. Alrighty.
I think Skyloft is a really cool area, but also that they probably could have done a lot more with it. Like if they had, several dungeons up here as well as several in the world below.
Yeah. Just generally a little bit more
Actually,
instead of making you revisit the same place twice.
Seth, does it not feel like recent Zelda games, not just this and Breath of the Wild, have been a little light on dungeons?
Yes.
Like, remember back in Ocarina of Time, we had, what was it, like 10 or near about?
Ooh, 3 in the
3 as a
past,
child,
and then
Ganon's Tower.
and then 7, I think, with the
Yeah.
yeah. So 11 in total.
Well, no, hold on, let me see. So there were those
Plus
3,
the
then Forest,
Deku,
Temple, Fire.
the Deku tree was also technically a dungeon.
Well, no, the dungeons you explore as a child, so the Deku Tree, Dodongo's Cavern, and Lord Jabba Jabu's Belly. Then the adult dungeons are Forest Temple, Fire Temple, Water Temple, Spirit Temple, Shadow Temple, Ganon's Tower. So that's 9 total. But still,
9, okay.
with some smaller dungeons like the Ice Caverns, I think, the Bottom of the Well. Yeah, there was just a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like Nintendo. I hope we see more dungeons in Breath of the Wild too. I feel like y'all been holding off on us.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, welcome back to everybody's favorite place in the game.
Woo! I just like this place from the Hyrule Warriors.
Oh yeah,
Whee! Open.
people who've played Skyward Sword though tend to hate this area.
Mm.
Be right back.
Alrighty.
Okie dokie. Ah, your sword. There can be no doubt. The sacred flames have purified this blade. Well done, Link. That sword holds tremendous power. That power is a sacred force. It is a divine power left to us by the gods of old. The same power that is spoken of in the Ballad of the Goddess. To look upon you is to see that same great power now flowing through you and the sword you carry.
I'm
Come,
just going
Link,
to
you must
point out,
open the gate of time. Yep.
power and force are often synonymous.
Yes. Whoa! No, I fear the seal has given away once again. The terrible beast is awakening even as we speak. Link, you must imprison the beast once again. Okay.
How many times have you had to do this now?
Once, just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the second time. Alright, let's go. Groose, be useful. Groose,
So
be
Groose is
loose.
gonna help out, but otherwise, this is the same exact thing.
Yeah, just tickle his feet and make him fall down.
He was a pain in Hyrule Warriors, though. Those shockwaves that he admitted.
Yeah, try not
I
to
just
drool
hear that
on
as.
your shirt. The Gruesinator. It's a catapult.
No, it's a catapult on a rail.
That makes it better. Okay, so he can move it like
Very-
around.
Yeah, very slightly better. Bruce knows what he's doing.
Yes,
Kind of.
that's definitely a description I would give to Groose. He knows what he's doing. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, just get out, you creepy thing with a lot of teeth.
I mean, he looks like the demonic form of some children's show mascot.
Yeah. Oh my god, and these scales kind of look like eyes and... Oh.
Oh god, no, you know what they look like right down to the pattern? The patterning displayed on each? They look like the sin scales from Final Fantasy X. Don't they? They're even kind of lightly luminescent, as the sin scales were.
A bit, yeah.
I always remember their design because of how stunned I was as a kid with the presentation, the visual presentation of the... Was Sinspawn Genace the, like, tentacled obelisk that's crashed down in Xanarkand?
Xanarkand, yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah. Ready to smash. Bruce, I don't think you know what we're doing here.
No smashing here, Bruce.
Is Bruce giving himself a mechanical explanation of how his catapult works?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, so you hit it. Direct hit. Nice. Did Bruce say I was in love the first time I pulled her lever?
Yes.
Oh, so he's a Konami fan. Hit the lever!
Oh, these shockwaves are so annoying.
Just like in Hyrule Warriors, then.
Yeah. Okay, now he's gonna fall on his back.
Oh.
See, no shockwave this time. Okay, how can I... Fucking...
Maybe run around
Well.
it. Yeah. This is such a strange concept for a repeated fight, isn't
Yeah.
it?
And now suddenly his toes are gonna come back out again.
Can we just, like, tape that stake down?
Just use super glue or something.
Yeah! Or, like, just imprison him in an Immortal Unchained map. He'd never be able to find his way out of there.
Ah! Okay, he's gonna try and climb up. Bruce is gonna shoot him down. Whee! Boink. Okay, one foot is down. Yeah, fall on your back. Fucking hell. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah, this is why people aren't overly fond of the ceiling grounds.
Yeah, this is boring. Did I miss him? I missed him. Fucking hell.
MC says it was interesting the first time. They should have changed the mechanics. Well, I mean, they've got the Grucinator, and for Nintendo of this time, that was innovation. Or that was iteration. MC says clearly the boring ground. MC, if you don't know in depth about the natural progression of Skyward Sword, you have no idea. This is not as bad as it gets. In fact, real quick, let me pull up a guide for myself just so I can see where we are. Okay. So we just did Fire Sanctuary, right?
Yes.
Past the Volcano Summit. Then yeah, you were very near the end of the game.
Okay, so I'm guessing that Thursday is gonna be the last stream of this.
Possibly. There's one more dungeon, it looks like.
Okay, fall.
MC says, "Oh, I have no idea, but I could sense it. My dev sense is screaming." Yeah. Yeah.
Are we done?
Is that the third time?
Yeah.
Yeah, should have been. There we go.
Yay!
Also, it looks like an evolved form of those terrible CGI Langoliers from the eponymous Stephen King miniseries.
Yeah, definitely.
God, the Langoliers TV series miniseries was actually really, really bad. Even like by the standards of the time, which is a shame because I understand that the short story is quite good. Well done, Seth. That's our second boss of the day down.
Woo!
Yeah, and down he goes.
Stab.
Wait
No,
for
Link.
it. Skyward Strike.
By the power of Grayskull. Oh.
Oh god, here we go again.
I am doing this. There we go. Can we seal you now? There we go.
Right on, right on.
No need to thank Roos, I know I saved your tail. Well, to be fair, he was useful.
As he says, reminds me of Metroid Prime 3. Oh, no. Metroid Prime 3 had much better design than this.
Whee!
I liked Metroid Prime 3 quite a lot, actually, from what little I played of it, and from what I've seen.
And
Also, ordering myself some quick dinner that I can eat between the conclusion of this stream and
yeah.
my own.
What are you gonna
And
eat?
I'm getting Indian carry-out because I wanted something relatively healthy, right? I'm trying to eat healthier overall, and I just don't have any groceries in the house right now since I just got back in town. But these onion fritters I ordered as an appetizer allow you the option with nut or without nut. I do not know the context, but obviously
No.
with nut. No. Let's see. MC says that game had some hard issues because of the push for Wii controls. A good game, but out of place design. Yeah. That sounds right. MC says tomorrow is ordering pizza. Oh, what are you thinking of?
Oh yeah, in the end my insurance and also my property management decided not to pay for the damages that happened in my basement because they said, oh, it was because of natural causes, like if it was, flooding because of something that happened in the house, then we would pay out. But since it was just a terrible storm and the entire neighborhood was without electricity, nothing.
What?
Yep. So Seth is absolutely broke, and I actually got a letter from my property management that I am late with my rent, and if I don't pay out by the end of the month, I'm gonna get kicked out. So
Oh,
that's
God.
a very happy letter to come to.
Again, please let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Like,
Not unless you can somehow find a lot of money, digging the hole and finding a treasure chest with a lot of rupees in it.
let's see.
I'm
MC
gonna
says
figure it
probably
out.
mushroom and ham. Oh, that sounds
Mushroom and
good.
ham. Capricciosa. It's like a standard one.
Well, Seth, at some point, probably later in the week, I will be ordering probably my own Hollow Knight doll. So
That's really nice.
that's something I can do to help. Oh, MC, that's incredibly kind of you, man.
Oh, MC, please don't bother.
But
What the
again,
hell
Seth,
is this,
like
a
on,
gigantic cog? Yes?
yes,
Sorry.
on my end, seriously, if you need anything, I'd be happy to provide it. I'm certain I can.
Nah.
It's not like I use my money for anything worthwhile, just food and video games while I wait for my thesis to
Don't worry
complete.
about it. I'm gonna handle it somehow. I'm an adult. Yeah. It's kind of scary, you know, because, you know, it's not just me, it's now also Beppo and Poppy. And when you just have to take care of yourself, it's fine, you know, shit like this happens all the time and you're like, whatever. But when you also have someone to take care of and you get shit like that, then it's like, yeah.
Well, remember, you also take care of this community, and so we will take care of you. I would not be in very good shape, psychologically speaking, at all if it weren't for all of you guys, so...
You would not be the first person I helped this month. Ah, MC, are you like holding a charity,
MC's got that dev money, man.
MC. Go bravely, Link. As opposed to going cowardly.
Eradicating poverty from the face of the world and having enough for ham and mushroom pizza afterward? Now that's the life.
Oh yeah.
That's goals right there.
I'm gonna hang back here, Link. I mean, Groose ended up being okay, right? From a bullet
Yeah.
to being okay. Granny here keeps yapping on and on about how we never know when it might bust free again. Someone's gotta
Turns
stick
out-
around and guard this place. Might as well be me.
Turns out we're terrible at our jobs.
Yeah. Scary. And you know what?
Yes, Groose?
Nah, forget about it.
Damn it,
Oh.
don't leave us hanging like that.
He walks off the camera like, dude, camera is over there.
It's got worse cinematography than Kay's videos.
Oh god. Oh, I love Kay's videos. Especially
No,
when
I
she
knew
puts the
about-
camera like up there.
Yes. I knew about her long before Cinnamon Toast Ken and Buff Pro started reacting to her. She is amazing. She's one of my favorite people online. No joke, because she seems like a really sweet person who loves what she does.
Yeah.
Love it too, she'll just be cooking away, like standing over this oven that I guess is powered by a dwarf star or something, because it's always like 8,000 degrees inside. Like, just nonchalant. She'll be totally fine burning something, like by keeping it in the oven for 3 hours. That's fine, like that lasagna. But she'll like drop a tiny piece of vegetable and you'll just hear, "Oh shit!"
This is
You know
a
the one
very
thing Kay can
freaky
do?
thing.
Reasonably well, though? Pastry. Like, she has tried making shells and for pies and things like that before, and they don't look great, but they look perfectly competently made. So,
Nice. Oh god.
but that
so
bolognese,
look at her.
that
she's
bolognese
creepy.
did things to me. Oh, no. Impa, are you
Impa,
okay?
eat something.
Eat
You're-
many things, please.
And let your hair grow a little bit. You have a pumpkin.
Well, no,
head.
she's got it all, like, tied into what looks like a rat tail, almost, off to the side, that one braid.
Yeah.
She's a Padawan.
It is there that the person you've risked life and blood to defend waits for you. Zelda.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah. Aw, look at her being all pretty. Also, those look like... What does she have on her hair? I'm glad you
Like-
made it.
some kind of accessory meant to like help her braids, or well, they're not braids, but keep those strands of hair separate and allow them to keep shape.
In this era, the wounds inflicted on the land during the battle between the goddess and the demon king known as Demise have not been healed. Excuse me, what happened to Ganon? All the fairy tales
Ganon
about
doesn't
the-
exist here.
we heard growing up in Skyloft, incredible as it may seem, they appear. But isn't this supposed to like chronologically be the start of the Legend of Zelda? Like what started the
Yes.
constant reincarnation of?
There is no Ganon yet.
Right. I think it's time you learn the whole story. Let me try to explain.
Oh god, exposition. Here we go.
Feel free to read that for us.
Oh, the old gods created a supreme power that gave anyone who possessed it the ability to shape reality and fulfill any desire. They called it the Triforce, and it's defined differently in every single entry. In his thirst to make the world his own, Demise readied a massive army of monsters for war. He sought to take the Triforce for himself, by force. The goddess feared for her people. She used her power to send both them and the Triforce into the sky on a slice of earth she cut away from the land. This floating rock became the new home of our people. In time, it came to be known as Skyloft. Oh, she looks blazed. After a long and fierce battle, the goddess Hylia succeeded in sealing away Demise. However, soon after the Demon King was imprisoned, it became clear that the seal would not hold long against his fearsome powers. Hylia had suffered grave injuries in her battle with the Demon King. She knew that if he broke free again, there would be no stopping him. And if the Demon King were to free himself, it would mean the end of the world for all beings of this land. In order to put an end to the Demon King, Hylia devised two separate plans and set them both into motion.
Plan A and Plan B at the same time. Link, close your mouth. Are you sucking an invisible dick? What the hell?
First, she created Fi. She made the spirit that resides in your sword to serve a single purpose, to assist her chosen hero on his mission. Her second plan was to abandon her divine form and transfer her soul to the body of a mortal. She made this sacrifice, as you've likely guessed, so that the supreme power created by the old gods could one day be used. For while the supreme power of the Triforce was created by the gods, all of its power can never be wielded by one. Knowing this power was her last and only hope, the goddess gave up her divine powers and her immortal form. Yes. You've probably figured it out by now, haven't you, Link? You are the chosen hero, and I, Zelda. I am the goddess reborn as a mortal. Also, potentially like a deranged theocrat, but
Yeah.
the day of the ceremony, Girahim's tornado tossed me out of the sky and down to the world below. I was nearly captured by the demonic forces, but I was rescued at the last moment by the old woman who lives in the sealed grounds. I had no memory at all of my existence as Hylia, but she explained it to me. She helped me to remember who I was and what I had to do. I set out to pray at the goddess statues located in each temple across the land. Each statue stirred up memories within me. After I visited them all, Impa, an agent of the goddess, led me here, to the past. All of this is part of the same great effort to prevent the revival of Demise. Stripped of his true physical form by the seal that binds him, he takes the shape of an abomination. But even in his hideous state, he's more than capable of devouring this land if we allow him to do what he desires. Sorry, just Link's facial expressions,
Yeah.
I can't.
Link is just flabbergasted. All of this
We
is
must
linked,
stop-
Link. All of it. All of it!
We must stop him from freeing himself from the seal that imprisons him, at any cost. That's why I intend to remain here in this time and place, to sustain the seal as best I can. As long as I continue this vigil, we may be able to prevent the Demon King from fully reviving himself in our own time. I must maintain the seal that that I, created so long ago, and keep it strong for as long as I am able. With the memories of my former life returning to me, I can see now that this is my purpose. That dull surprise.
Yeah.
Link, the goddess created Fee and the great blade she's a part of for very specific reasons. For the task of standing against Demise in the monstrous form he now assumes rests solely on your shoulders. No pressure, though.
Yeah.
Back in our own time, you've already driven him back into his prison twice now.
How do you
I can't
know?
thank you enough for that, Link. She's watching over all of space and time, apparently.
Oh, okay. Utter shock.
During your long journey, you've grown so much. God, you'd think she was explaining it like the Kingdom Hearts plotline to him, not the Zelda plotline.
Yeah.
You learned wisdom from solving devious puzzles and traps. You gained power by honing and tempering both yourself and your sword. MC says she's a creep. No, I like this Zelda, honestly. By overcoming the trials set before you by the goddess, you found true courage. It looks like true courage.
Yep, he looked like he just peed himself.
Looks more like constipation to me.
No, looks like the Olestra just kicked in.
He's like, Zelda, can you please
shit.
talk faster? I cannot promise.
Can you send me back in time like 4 hours?
Zelda, where's the bathroom here? This is important. Find that seal. There is another seal breaking.
Now that those qualities reside in you, you are worthy of wielding the power of the old gods left behind for our kind. You can claim the Triforce. MC says, I just realized I left the stove on.
Yeah, that's the face that I make, even when I realize that I have not cooked in days. But it's like, did I leave the stove on?
Did I feed the cat before I left for this like month-long journey?
Oh well.
Do I even have a cat? Valiant hero, you've endured many hardships and journeyed far in your quest to reach this place. Along your travels, you've found wisdom, power, and courage.
It's like
And
they're
for this,
getting
I shall bless your sword with the goddess's power. Hey, you're getting married to your sword.
Oh.
May it give you
Oh.
and your sword the strength to drive back the abomination that threatens this land.
I mean, if you can get married to a train or Eiffel Tower, I don't see why not getting married to a
Or a
sword.
Ferris wheel.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
The mark you see upon the back of your hand is proof that you are the hero of legend and that within you dwells sacred power. It is the mark of the Triforce. Stand now, Link. Draw your sword. Don't you love how they give you the entire plot in like one 20-minute text dump, and the rest of the game is just like more or less filler?
Finally, the true color.
The rest of the game is just one naked dude going, oh hey bud, I found some stuff here. Oh wait, you found it before me. Oh nice bud, why didn't you tell me?
Yes, bud.
Actually, there was a story that someone told my mother and me when we were younger, or when I was younger, just the South being the South, right? They said one of their relatives had awoken in the morning hours, like very early morning, like 2 or 3 a.m., to the sound of this like clattering, clanging sound from their kitchen. And they're obviously very alarmed because they live in a rural area, right? Like what if some animal had gotten in the house or whatever? So they get up, and they get like this baseball bat, and they like creep into the kitchen getting ready to like throw down with a raccoon or a possum. And they see one of their cousins completely butt naked, standing over the stove in this darkened kitchen at like 3 a.m. with like 2 whole bell peppers just sitting in a skillet and staring straight ahead at the wall. And they obviously question this trespasser, and they're like, well, dude, what the hell are you doing? And it says he just turns around, like, with this incredulous look on his face, and simply says, I am who I am, and this is what I do. and then stoically turned back around to stare at the wall while his bell peppers slowly burnt in the skillet. This is just what happens in my part of the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
You see, the mark of the Triforce on your hand is a symbol of the greatest power in this world. Yes, we get it. Have they not said the same thing like 5 different ways at this point? If you can obtain the actual Triforce, we'll have the power to vanquish demise once and for all. The problem is, among the countless souls in this world, only a select few, those with an unbreakable spirit, can wield its might.
I think you broke Link's spirit like a couple of times throughout this conversation.
And his mind. It's impossible to know the true reason why the old gods created the Triforce, but I have a theory of my own. God's sake! The gods created the Triforce, yet they specifically designed it so their own kind could never use its power. Somehow, I think that may have been their way of giving hope to all the mortal beings of the land. Which brings us back to you. To face demise and give the land hope, the goddess Hylia needed someone with an unbreakable spirit. That someone is you, Link. We know! God's sake!
Dum dum dum.
But spirit alone wasn't enough. You had to overcome many trials and awaken the hero within yourself so that you could wield that supreme power. Right, we've been going through an 80s training montage. And so Hylia, and so yes! I knew that if it meant saving Zelda, you would throw yourself headfirst into any danger, without even a moment's doubt. I used you.
Yeah, I feel dirty.
You, who are the chosen of the goddess, and can wield great power. I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am for pulling you into all of this, Link. But you have to understand that this is a war, and the fate of the land hangs in the balance. I need your strength to tip the scales in our favor.
Can you at least give me better armor? I kinda look like a leprechaun.
All that may be well-intentioned and true, but it doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't excuse my actions. I mean, agree... Well, the Bokoblins and other, enemies seem to have civilizations of their own. Have we ever tried talking to them?
No.
Seeing what their side of the story is?
Maybe we are the invaders. Maybe Bokoblins had a very nice civilization of Bokoblins trying to live in peace, and then we come wielding a sword and being like, la 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 la, give me rupees.
Right, and then you stab them once in the butt and they explode, so that's hardly
They
sporting.
explode with a smoky skull coming out of their corpse after they're done exploding.
I'm prepared to pay the price for what I've done. To ensure that the seal holds, I'll remain here in this time, deep in sleep for thousands of years.
Why does Link have eyeliner?
Probably
Also,
just something to give him more definition to his ocular animations.
I really like it how he's using the same amount of eyeliner as me in my teenage years when I had the raccoon phase.
I think he's using about as much as Girahim did, actually.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a huge fan of narrative, but this is very poorly written and executed. Oh god, this is a Metal Gear Solid cutscene without the tongue-in-cheek self-awareness. But until my memory of things before our lifetime returned to me, I had no idea we were fated to carry such a heavy destiny.
Give me just a sec. Yes.
Before all of this, I was happy just spending my days hanging around with you in Skyloft. I wanted that feeling to last forever. Oh god, Beppo, same. Yeah. See, this is the problem of, really lengthy, narrative-heavy cutscenes in games, like RPGs in particular, where players aren't given a great deal of narrative agency. Again, in the style of the action RPGs I generally really like, where, you get to pick different dialogue options, or affect different outcomes, or affect your relationship with different characters or factions in the setting. Because here... you just have one character monologuing at us, and nothing's changing because of it. While it's true that I'm Hylia reborn, I'm still my father's daughter and your friend. Okay. I'm still your Zelda. Oh.
Aww.
When Demise is finally gone, there will be no more need for the seal that binds him, and then I'll be able to wake up. So I'm going to ask you a favor, Sleepyhead. Ever since we were kids, I've always been the one to wake you up when you slept in. But this time, when all this is over, will you come to wake me up? Oh, great choices.
Yes, yes, and yes. I like my options. No, Zelda!
Well, now I know that Link's neutral expression is that of somebody who just had a deer jump in front of their car.
Looks more like the expression of a deer that jumped in front of a car.
It's fair.
In
Fair.
front of my car.
Macaw. Hey, Beppo. 5
Oh, and
more
look,
minutes
now,
and you go pee-pee.
according to his facial expression, he's just totally fine. He's
Yeah.
over it now.
He was just like, oh well. Can I get in control? Yes, I can. Okay, cool.
Oh, thank you, God.
Well, this
You're
is gonna
welcome.
be it for, This is gonna be it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this, because, to be honest, the only part that I joined was the boss fight.
Boss fight was really good.
Yeah.
And, hey, let's be fair. The new gadget we got that allows us to dig through those 2D underground mazes, that's kind of
That
fun.
was cute. Yeah, that was cute. Alrighty, let's see who we can raid. Who is playing? Oh,
And
my
don't
friend
forget-
Hemi is playing Dark Souls 3. And yeah?
Oh, right on. I was going to say, for those of you who plan on being little night owls tonight, I will be live at around 12:30 a.m. CET with some more Sly Cooper 3, because I just really want to relax and enjoy these couple of days off I have. So, if you're interested, feel free to join me. It'll be really casual, really relaxed. Or just catch the VOD if you would like to catch up after the fact. I know
Is
it's
my
really late
shout-out
for
not
our
working?
audience.
Oh, Brady, it's
No.
actually CEST because CET is 12 is right now.
Yes.
Ah, sorry, CEST.
What? It's not 12, it's 23:12.
Yeah, but CET is summertime.
Ah, yeah.
Okay. So it's now
Oh,
Central
winter
European
time. Sorry, winter
Central
time. and
European
summertime.
Standard Time.
Yeah.
Yes. Summertime.
Okay. Gotcha.
Alrighty,
So
don't
yeah,
forget
see
to
y'all
join
in an
Brady.
hour and change. Bye bye.
Yes. Bye bye everyone, and say hi to Hemi for me.